Aha!
Where's the camera, Dave?
No, I was checking to make sure that they could hear me this time, so I didn't do my whole spiel. That's all. We're here. You're here. We appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to Burning Bright episode
8 question.
8.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow. Okay. I completely lost where we were on that timeline. But episode 8, Burning Bright, our Bladerunner actual play here on Happy Jack's RPG Network. My name is CADave. I use he, him as pronouns. I remember to do it this week. And you can find any episodes that you might have missed of our specific show at happyjacks.org/burningbright. It is not E for everyone kind of experience. If you're not ready to deal with some gory details about being in a gory and gritty world, this might not be the game for you. If it's not, you can find all kinds of other shows at happyjacks.org/shows of 100 different genres. We've been doing actual plays for quite a while, so you can find... Everybody here has done at least one other game, so you can find us all here in some other form or fashion. If you're not into this, that's okay, because we're all here to have fun. We use safety tools. We did our lines and veils before we even started, and we have an X card available that we can use and hit the button and let everybody know, hey, let's not use that kind of information in the game. We'll just move on. We want everybody to be safe and have a good time when you're playing tabletop games, because we want more people to play tabletop games, because that means there's more cool people for us to play with. So, please be cool, use safety tools, and have a great time. Yeah, let's go around the table. I think I did Gavin last time, so let's start over here.
Okay, that's me. Hi, I'm Sam. I use she, her pronouns, and I play Kestrel, also she, her, who is a replicant enforcer and a rookie on the LAPD. Definitely not experienced in combat a lot. It's like all she does.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am back to play Haru, who uses they, them pronouns, and they are a replicant investigator, also rookie, because reasons. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Not at all a dystopian cyber nightmare future.
Hi, and I'm Cousteau. I use he, him pronouns. I play Fjor, Rotari, who uses he, him pronouns as well, who is a veteran Cityspeaker and has no complications, no ambivalence.
Bitchware!
Like I said,
Everything's fine.
happy to be here.
Hey everybody, I am Joey, he, him pronouns, and I am playing Gavin Huxley, a lieutenant, regular human fixer.
Regular human.
Regular human fixer. No, I am the surprise replicant. We're all replicants. Oops, replicants all the way down. And he's here for a long time, not a good time.
Oh no!
We're opposite. Yin and yang.
Wow.
Okay. All right. We're getting back into from last session. We were fully immersed in a new series of crime. So investigating the death of the UN judge, who was found somewhat cut in half, somehow cut in half, by a hot source, something warm, because it cauterized the wound as it went, leading to some questions about who had access to the building she lived in, what she used to be doing for fun, finding out that she had visited the Disney concert hall to watch a show, the music of the movies and the hollow projections and video games, leading to interviewing her personal assistant and her legal clerk, law clerk, at the court. The law clerk is a replicant named Noah. And then Olivia is her executive assistant. Olivia has nothing overly suspicious about her that you thought you found. Noah also didn't seem super suspicious when you interviewed, but you discovered had at least one failed baseline test. That's the second time in a row, second week in a row that word has just not worked into
Time
my
to baseline him,
Do
guys.
you need a baseline?
Maybe. I'm gonna go home and just sit in front of my computer.
And it will ask you ominous questions.
There's got to be a website, right?
Oh, there has to
Oh,
be.
yeah.
Gotta be
Yeah.
old like Voight comp.
Let's
Oh
find
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Totally.
for sure.
Normal.
Yeah, it's always, no matter who answers or what, it's always abnormal because that's what we all are. Let's see. You found Fjor was called in by the Frankenstein dancer from the Snake Pit because her friend, the Ultimate Warrior, had been killed brutally in the bathroom of an after-hours club. And she didn't know what to do. Being he was also a replicant. What else am I missing? Oh, there was almost a trash dive, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Saved from that.
Very much so.
The one thing, that you went through the, like a series of questions for Coco and and Fjor had asked Coco for information if the judge was a replicant or wasn't. Am I missing anything that anybody needs
Just
to-
me finding out that there are secret replicants in the Force.
Yeah.
Yes.
Something that's gonna be really normal.
It's gonna be fine. Regular human.
Yeah. Regular human Gavin
Howdy.
finding out that there are more regular humans.
It's fine. It's gonna be great. I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine.
So why doesn't everybody take 3 promotion points?
Ooh.
Because you all did a lot of investigating. Fjor, I'll give you a humanity point
Okay.
for helping Amelia.
Okay.
Because you could have just been like, not my bag. You need to call the detectives that are on duty right now. But you didn't. You offered to help. Anybody else do anything particular humanity-wise? It seemed like a pretty work-focused
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us into a next shift where we left off. You guys have worked 3 shifts already on this new case, so it is time for downtime unless somebody wants to push themselves to keep at it. So take a minute, think about what kind of downtime you might want to partake in. You guys could try and do your celebration again that got so rudely interrupted last time. You could go off and do your own things. It's all up to you.
Did we take one spinner to go to the courthouse?
I think we did.
Yeah. And the courthouse is downtown, right?
Oh yeah,
It's still the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
it's on the ground level of everything.
Yeah, it's weird. If Gavin is seeming like maybe he's going somewhere after, like, what if I take the spinner somewhere? Haru might be like, where are you going?
Oh. Honestly, I was just gonna go home.
Oh, boring. All right, bye.
Nice to see you too. Catch up later.
And then is just gonna let you take the spinner and go.
All right. Because yeah, I want to go home and go over the stuff I pulled out from that computer. So try to figure out next plan of action against these, figuring out who these surprise replicants are,
Sure.
and pour over any information I got on that murder case.
All right. So an evening in,
Mm-hmm.
sitting there going through some files. Why don't you do a intelligence insight
Okay.
roll?
Intelligence and insight. Okay.
Because it's kind of the stereotypical, like the detective at home going through the case files and going through files and looking for that inspiration moment.
I got a 6.
Okay. All right. So, what you managed to get specifically about the murder of a Wyatt Hunter
Mm-hmm.
is that it's still an unsolved case.
Okay.
It's not quite old enough to be called a cold case, but there's no active leads, and nobody seems to have any direction on it.
And it all looks like above board. Reports are.
Yeah, it's not anybody you worked with that worked the case, but there is, a report from Coco on the disposition of the body, and the there's what leads that they ran down about it, but it happened in a private space. There's no video recordings of it. It was a busy building, so there's tons of people that were coming and going on Esper. So
Okay.
there's just no way for the LAPD to kind of work that into something. They interviewed some neighbors and that kind of stuff, but didn't really
Okay.
have enough leads. It's still on the list, so if something were to come up or somebody were to come forward, they could easily get back to work on the case, but give it another 6 months or a year and it's probably going to just go into a file somewhere and nobody's going to think about it.
Awesome. Is there any way to set up any kind of alert if someone does?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can totally do that.
I want to do that for sure. And the information that I found about the secret replicants in the Force.
From what you gathered, even the deputy chief doesn't know who the secret replicants are. Right?
Mhm.
Because it's somewhat of a Wallace experiment to see about, okay, well, we have human officers and we have replicant officers. Now let's take a replicant that thinks they're a human and compare their stats, right? Like who's performing better at the job, who's clearing more cases, who's doing all that kind of stuff, and then that'll help them figure out what kind of mix, or do they need to make more replicants that don't realize they're replicants? Do they need to make less? That this is all data gathering and all that from Wallace. So
Okay.
to find the specific names of those embedded officers that don't know, you'd have to get into Wallace.
Into Wallace.
Yeah. Which would not be a simple thing.
No. All right, I'm gonna put that gonna put a pin in that for now because that's fun. That's a whole side quest. Cool. I'm going to pour myself a large scotch and get a nap in.
Sure. You can totally go for that.
'Cause I'm definitely processing this fine. I don't know.
So
Champion, winning at processing.
Yes. Winning.
one of the things also in that file is you do find the information on that the LAPD did hire replicant officers that weren't directly provided by Wallace.
Mm.
And that's even another data column, right? Like, was allowing replicants to be out in the world and doing other things and then choosing this career, was that more effective? Did you end up with better officers because of that? Or, you know, so literally Wallace is social media mining in the future. They're trying to analyze how to make the best product they can and supply it to people for the highest price they can.
Oh, what a dream. Horrible dream. Nightmare. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I wonder why a replicant would want to be an officer.
Weird. You should ask some.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Just imagining Kestrel's job interview.
Right? Like,
Puts gun on table. Thanks.
I might want to
Take
look.
gun and leaves.
I want to look that video up just for fun.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's like the Holden Voight Kampf test at the very beginning of the first movie.
Yeah. Like, hey, you hire me.
He's just sitting there. You want a job? Okay. I know not to fuck with
Yeah,
you.
I already did this. No. I surrender.
You can have the job, all right.
Terrifying.
My lifetime health insurance coverage has been used up years ago. I just need you to not hurt me.
This guy.
Oh. All right.
Poor guy.
Cool.
All right. Why don't you roll a d8
Okay.
just to see?
Oh, let's try that in the tray. That's a 7, baby.
A 7. You're well into your glass of whiskey, scotch.
Yeah,
We call it
scotch.
Scotch. Not that they're not similar products, but and you get a call on your home line from Deputy Chief Holt.
Okay.
Are you gonna pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not? I've had enough to drink. This will be fun.
And he comes on, appears on the screen just long enough to say, "Hey, wanted to touch base. I know you guys are working a big case right now.
Mm-hmm.
When you get a chance, can you write up a little report on how your team is working?"
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
That'd be great.
When do you need that by?
I mean, sometime in the next day would be fine.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to work on that right now.
Oh well, don't keep yourself up. I
Oh
know
no,
it's a
I'm
big
looking.
case.
I am looking forward to it.
That's what I like to hear. And then, like, he takes a big drag on a cigarette and hangs up.
Go for the bottle. Refill the scotch. Dragged for filth.
Yes, absolutely.
I have nothing to get off my chest.
I love this for you.
All right. Who's next for some downtime? You can give yourself, how many points of resolve are you missing?
2.
Give yourself 1 back,
Okay.
because it wasn't just a day at the spa.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
I
ready.
miss my human resolve.
Let's go.
You don't get that.
No,
I think after just being rude to Gavin and calling what Gavin's doing boring, Haru's gonna go and case an arboretum.
Oh, sure.
you
All
know,
right.
we could probably get you an invite.
Super fun.
Haru, the reverse Lorax. Illicit tree.
I steal the trees
Right?
so that I can speak for them, obviously.
I am Haru. I yeet for the trees.
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to make your way up. It's actually at the top of one of the mega towers. Like, it's the top, like, 5 floors, right? It actually is built almost like, if you imagine a Titanic-sized child blowing bubbles,
Okay.
right? and this bubble has come and landed on top of this tower. So it actually kind of goes out over the edges and creates just this big sphere. And the whole roof of the tower is this beautifully landscaped park, right? There's a little stream that runs through it, and there's places where you can sit next to a pond, and in the pond there's frogs and a couple of ducks and trees of varying types. It looks almost like it's designed so it kind of has little segments that are different biomes,
Yeah.
right? So there's a little area that's, desertish, and it's got some cacti, and it's got some Joshua trees, and then there's a more jungle environment that has big broad-leafed trees, and then like more Arctic, or mountainous
Tundra trees.
kind of with a lot of evergreens there. The tallest is a still living redwood tree
Jesus.
that basically has grown right up to the top of this 5-story bubble. Yeah. You can get to a place in another building where you can observe it from the outside, or are you trying to get in?
The original thought was like, oh, I'm probably close by, being downtown.
Yeah.
And so just kind of going and finding out, like, can I even get in?
We'd have to do some rolls.
Yeah.
How's your intention to get inside?
I think it's more like Haru was like, I'm close by. I should go and look into if I could go and walk around there. Not even to like necessarily go today, but just be like, I'm nearby. I'm gonna just lay eyes on it, maybe speak to a maybe person, and see how easy it would be to get in.
Sure. You can get to the entrance without any problem. It has its own elevator that goes
Of course it does.
all the way up. Once you step out, you get this immediate the smell of all these living plants, right? And even the very good replicant plants you've seen don't put off all the pollen and all the smells of natural landscape, soil, and all of that. Forgive me, I've forgotten what shift we're at.
4, I think.
Okay, so this is like middle of the night.
Correct.
The place is not closed, but you can see that there are technicians that are working all over the place, right? There, you see somebody and they're taking like a little soil sample in a test tube and adding some stuff and checking and looking on a pH chart, and then another guy that's shoveling presumably some kind of compost around various planter beds.
Who knew that trees also make trash?
Yeah. And then there's people that are cleaning up the leaves and putting them into big, it almost looks like canvas bags that are all branded with this Arboretum logo, and everybody out there's wearing sort of white Tyvek suits, so they're not leaving anything in the Arboretum themselves. And there's little, like an entry plaza when you first come out of the elevator. There is like a little, sort of like a membership window kind of a thing with the person sitting behind it that's just reading something. And then there's a security gate kind of a thing where it looks like there's some kind of a key fob or something that people can present to a reader that will then open the gate and let them in. And that's all, yeah.
The poor person working at the kiosk,
Mm-hmm.
Haru would go straight over to them. Hi. Are you closed?
No. This is a 24-hour facility.
How do I'd like to see your trees.
Yes, I understand. Well, you have to be a member, or you have to come with someone to apply for a new membership.
How would one become a member?
You have to be sponsored by a current member.
Okay.
And then once you have that application put in, there's an interview, and then, or if you make a large enough financial contribution to the Arboretum, we will allow you
Sure.
access as well.
And in the theoretical, for my future investment, do you perhaps have an oak tree?
Yes, I believe so.
Good to know. I wouldn't want to invest in an arboretum without an oak tree.
Yes, we actually have a native California section
Oh,
with a bunch of saved.
it's a
plant life.
native California tree. Yes, I definitely knew that. That's
And like they reach and get like a little brochure, right? And kind of slide it out the security.
And Haru
Thing.
immediately takes it and like opens it up like, yes, this is very interesting. I will definitely ever be able to afford this.
And well, it has like the little map of,
Yeah.
of the park, and it sort of has a listing of like major plants that they have that they're very proud about, and then on the back it's got like thanks to our sponsors and a list of all the major corporations that have donated, and I think it's literally still called the Tyrell Arboretum,
Yeah.
because that's where it started.
On the off chance, is the UN a sponsor?
No,
Yeah.
they're all like corporate
Yeah.
sounding names. And then
Okay.
there's a couple of individual names, like just like if you go to a zoo and you
Yeah.
see we have orangutans thanks to our generous sponsor, and like the Platinum Circle people that paid over $100,000, and it's like that kind of a list.
Yeah. And Haru just takes it, kind of looks it over, puts it in their jacket pocket. Thank you very much. I
Oh, you're
will
very welcome.
pursue a means of entry at a later date, but it's good to know.
Well, we hope to see you back. That'd be
Have a
wonderful.
wonderful night.
Yes. And you see that like on the it's transparent glass, but it's kind of built like a geodesic dome as you've gotten close to it. So each triangle around the borders of the triangle, it looks like there is lighting, right? So it's obviously some kind of UV light that they can create here to keep the plants happy and all that, even in the dinginess of Los Angeles in this era.
On the way out, just looking between the map and the little bit that they can see, do they see the oak tree?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not from the entrance. Yeah.
Um,
The entrance plaza, it's kind of designed in a way so you don't get a view of a lot of it. You can see some shrubs, and there's actually sort of like a small display of like bonsai
sure.
stuff that's on little pedestals as you walk in. You can see that on the other side of the gate, but then you kind of have to make a turn around what's obviously an artificial hill to get out into the thing itself.
Yeah, Haru just kind of, as they're leaving, they're thinking about that tree from their vision growing out of a mound of trash, a twisting oak tree. And they will take that memory as they walk down to Retirement Row and hide away to go home.
Okay.
Question.
Shoot.
How many Shinyen would it cost to be a member?
I mean, a lot. Like a number that is not measured in the Shinyan scale.
Got it.
Like, yeah.
All right.
It's definitely a place that doesn't really need the money,
It's a status thing.
but
Right.
yes, yeah. And
Just-
they purposely keep membership limited. They used to do like school day where kids from the upper crust of Los Angeles could come even if their parents weren't members, but they stopped doing that several years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely more like they occasionally do parties there, but yeah,
It's a
Okay.
private gallery.
yes, essentially, this is open to the public, but only people that have paid in a massive amount to keep this foundation going.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Public with a capital P.
Yeah, yeah. The public part is where
Tradable on the
Haru just
market.
visited.
Yeah.
You can see through the fence. That's the public part.
They're non-fungible trees.
And I think probably you probably noticed each of the bonsai trees in the entry area has like a little gold like sponsorship plate on it, and each of those, like, looking at your map, it's like those people contributed like north of $10 million kind of
Like a
situ-
year. Yeah.
yeah, like or an ongoing investment or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're gonna just wander their way home.
Home, or you just find a place to crash?
I think home because we're close enough, and
Okay.
I think that they're a little bit like forlorn in the like I don't want to go lay in trash. I want to go lay in my bed kind of way.
Just some nights the stretch bags aren't comfy. I
No.
get it. Cool. Why don't you roll a d8?
1.
Okay. You get home. The apartment is dark. You tell me if anybody's home.
Flip a coin. I'm gonna drop my coin. No.
Okay. So the place is dark and silent.
Yeah, and they just go and pour themselves a nice tall glass of whiskey and think about trees
Sure.
in a really normal way.
Like most people do. at some
Yeah.
point, yeah.
Think about trees and trash and where those two things intersect.
I think like I'm envisioning at some point there's like a search history on your KIA and it's just trees.
Yeah, it's trees.
Like you left the incognito mode window open and it's just trees.
Yes.
All right. So your night passes uneventfully.
Fantastic.
Other than that, how many resolve are you missing?
I'm not missing resolve. I'm just missing 1 health.
Oh yeah, you could recover a health by now. Okay. Cool. Got ideas?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think Kestrel spent all day pretty much in the office, so she's got some energy to burn. So she's gonna go home and find Brick. And while normal people would play fetch with their dog, she's gonna run through some building clearing exercises and
Okay.
tracking drills.
I love her.
All right. All right.
She's perfect. No notes.
I think your neighbors are all terrified of this outcome.
Why are the doors slamming again?
Like, there's a bear in the hallway. But sure, you can absolutely spend your evening doing all kinds of. How many sets of stairs can you run? How many sets of stairs can Brick run? Like you're just doing the whole thing.
I think Brick
You're-
does it in flights.
Yeah.
Boing.
Boing,
Yeah.
boing, boing. Yeah.
Forge.
Why don't you roll a d8 and we'll see what
Okay,
might happen.
let's see.
1 dice.
I also rolled a 1.
All right. You have spent the whole evening working out, leaving like a tiny bit of fabric that you rub behind your ear in one corner of a apartment that's abandoned on the other side of the building,
Mm-hmm.
and you're timing to see how long Brick can take to find it. You're just doing all kinds of stuff. But it is wonderfully relaxing. And nothing big happens.
Excellent. That sounds great.
So are you missing any resolve and stuff?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm all good.
So there you go. You're
Sweet.
you're just fine. You had a great night.
Love that.
You can go into your next shift completely refreshed and feeling pretty happy.
Ready to clear some rooms.
Mhm.
Good practice. You know.
Mhm.
You don't keep it up, it all fades away. All right. Fjor, what do you think you're doing?
Couple of things.
Okay.
First of all, coping
Sure.
with a capital C.
Champion coping.
champion. It's funny you said It's funny you said champion coping. I was thinking of She-Hulk. Like he's coping with having this new. Like now he's off and his shift and he's alone. He's got to think about all the stuff that's happened. He's got this. I was thinking he realizes he's got this weird hybrid awareness where like he was completely human. Now he's a replicant, but a replicant that knows what it's like to be human, or at least to think you're human. But the only people he knows that feel that way, as far as he knows, is dead. Leah. So there isn't really anyone to reach out to. So he's he's struggling to be practical, like maybe use this time to find. He's got this new itch to just find his own pad, his own home, instead of going on, because that was probably part of his. I won't say programming, but maybe that was instilled.
Sure.
He's questioning that, and he needs someone who knows what he's going through. But the only person that he can probably find in his mind, in the corner of his mind, is the doxy who's friendly but is gone missing. And so parallel to that, he's probably just gonna start going through that database of memories first, just to see if there were anything that resembled being garroted.
Mm-hmm.
But behind that and underneath all that, he's really like longing for that connection with the doxy who's just gone missing. And he's making some origami. It's not as pleasurable as before. Like he can just make these fake flying origami, just tossing them around, but they don't even give him any pleasure anymore. He's just doing things to occupy his mind because he doesn't know what to do.
Sure.
So.
Let's start with probably intelligence insight
Okay.
for the searching through the memories of the evening.
Intelligence
Insight.
insight. Oh, okay. Let's do. Nope.
Oh no.
Oh wait, this is for my memories?
No, from that file.
Oh, just from the
You said you
files?
were going to
Okay.
the file to look for any
Yep.
any other garrote victims.
I'll push.
Okay.
Supposed to be like resolve gaining, and I'm like,
I feel bad making people push on
It's
their off
okay.
time, but
I got a success.
okay. All right. You do find a memory in the unique file, the one that has like superheroes and those kind of things. You find a memory that is someone that was a killer and they had to stop for some reason. Like the memory kind of goes up to the point where the choice is either stop or be killed / incarcerated. And that's sort of the end of that line. You don't have any record of it being implanted in anybody, but it was kind of an experiment to see like what would happen. You know, if someone had come to that decision point and had the faculties, like a lot of times serial killers in real life lack the ability to stop, right? It's something has gone wrong, whatever it may be, that they don't, even when they know they're in danger or endangering themselves by continuing this habit, it's a compulsion, right? In this case, The experiment was, okay, you've seen how to kill people. You've done it. Now you're at the point where if you do it again, they're gonna catch you. And it's either gonna end up with you being dead or incarcerated. So that's kind of the moral lesson of it, is like, don't do that anymore. Be a good citizen now.
Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Find a quitting point.
Right.
Okay.
For your killing
For
habit.
your killing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it definitely includes a variety of murder methods, including garrote and stabbings and shootings.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing involving like welding someone apart, though.
Okay.
That is
But-
not one of them.
But Fjor's previous review revealed the glitch. She's coping.
Oh no.
The mirror.
Yeah.
Like
looking into the
iconic.
mirror.
Yeah.
Thing, yeah.
Icon that having a false self.
Mhm.
Okay. And he had put in a call to get on the waiting list for Quell.
Yes. Yeah. Chances are you're not getting back to in the same day.
Middle of the night.
Like, and certainly not at this hour of night.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow is when you probably hear something.
Okay. So what I will do then is file a report. Just putting in, as footnotes that there's a correlation to the memories,
Okay.
and publish that for everyone. And for Chief Holden.
Okay.
And then he's just going to do some freeform origami. Just leave it open to maybe something from his unconscious to come through. Just folding to fold, not necessarily structured. Just
Seeing what comes out.
just give over to the subconscious chaos, and then let himself pass out.
Gotcha. Why don't you roll a d8?
For your
And we'll
improv
see
origami.
if
Mhm.
anything happens.
It's fine. If you roll an 8, you do a garrote origami.
What would
And
that?
then you get concerned.
I was
Just an origami of yourself murdering someone, and you can bend it, and it's like little stabbing.
Oh gosh, I was going through my mind like, what origami would
It's
he?
half
I
a
could do?
woman on a mirror. That's really specific.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
Hmm.
I was like, when
You
I
had to
put
go
this
get
on my rear
aluminum
view
foil for the
mirror,
mirror.
yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense. You hold it up to a mirror. You're like,
Oh.
Yeah, I thought of that for the rear view mirror. Would I do that? It's a little too deep, even for Fjord.
Oh man.
Yeah. Okay. We were all thinking, oh, it's a fail.
What'd you get?
2.
A 2. Okay. So the rest of your evening passes uneventfully.
Okay.
I'm not inside Fjord's head, but I think one of the things you end up folding is like the Ouroboros, right?
Oh,
like
wow.
it's the serpent eating its own tail. Because it feels like it's kind of a never-ending cycle, right? The more you think about your time with the LAPD, the more it's this, like, it's just a churn, and it's somebody's getting hurt, something's getting stolen, somebody's doing something bad, endlessly, right? If you get a day where something horrible doesn't crop up, that's a weird day.
Yeah. And on that note, he falls peacefully to sleep. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, thank you.
Well, even fitful sleep, you're still getting some rest. So,
Okay.
how many resolve are you missing?
2.
You can get 1 back
Okay.
because you just used 1 tonight.
Yeah.
So you can recover the other.
All right.
Okie doke.
I do have a question though.
Shoot.
As a veteran, does he have any, and there's not really necessarily a skill or attribute for it, but he able to do some type of forensic processing or assessments?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
Like a lot of the memory implantation stuff that we've talked about is focused on like the key memories,
Yeah.
but it's more than just that, right? Like you're implanted with the memories of how to use language and events that might have happened in your life that aren't that one thing that you always are drawn back to, but all of the world around you, essentially. Like knowing whether that guy's charging too much for a bowl of noodles, or knowing what it smells like when someone's puked and they've had too much to drink. Like all of that stuff is all implanted memory up until the point where decantation happens, right?
Mhm.
So you have the knowledge of being a cop for years. So there's a lot of stuff that I'd give you an advantage if you're thinking about like, okay, what if if the person was hit with a bullet here, whatever situation, you're like, let me think back to all those times I might have. And chances are they used like the entirety of media
Okay.
to kind of give you this insight into years of being a cop and all the weird stuff that might have happened.
Including all seasons of CSI.
Yeah.
Every CSI.
Like
Every CSI.
a lot of that stuff was lost. Like the old
I know.
stuff was lost, but
Hawaii Five-0 lasted though.
Yeah. Yes, Scott Kahn.
like somebody found the old laser discs and
Where are we going?
kept
Where
that
we're
reader
going?
running because they were pre everything being in the cloud. So
Okay.
um
Good to know.
yeah,
Okay.
and you've got like the what was it? What was that old? Was it? If I say Quinn, it's not Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. He was like the forensic.
Isn't this NCIS?
No, it was pre that, like much old, like in
Q,
the 70s.
like Q. They started with a Q.
Quincy.
Quincy.
Oh!
Yeah, I remember because it was like a big
Yes.
Q, and they would
Yeah.
go into the frame, and yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you've got like those crimes in your head.
Wow.
And so like it's a variety of stuff.
Got some MacGyver in there?
I don't know. Let's look.
Be useful.
Just Columbo all the way down.
I would actually.
Weirdly, you got Gilligan's Island.
Oh, snap. Gavin can make the fuck out of anything with bamboo and coconut.
Right.
He's like, my spinner's broken, but we crashed into a palm tree. I got it.
We're good. Only get off this island.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And oddly, you are super good at basketball because of that Harlem Globetrotters episode.
Weird.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow.
What a pull.
All right. So it is the next morning. You all managed to get some level of refresh.
We did it.
Nobody had anything dire and critical happen, so I'm impressed. Everybody rolled pretty well. And the one semi-dire thing that happened was welcome.
Yeah.
So
And
Okay.
funny.
so I'll try not to talk while my head is 17 feet away from my microphone while I'm getting out a beer, but there I am. Let's have the opener over on that. Thank you kindly. So first thing this morning, where does everybody think they might be planning to hit?
I think I might be heading back to the precinct to check because I have Gavin. I guess will send a message on the KIA. Had some time to think it over after our discussion with Noah, and I find it interesting that one of the judge's most recent controversial cases dealt with scrappers, and doesn't it seem like a welding tool or a scrapping tool would do the kind of damage that we saw done on that body?
Agree.
You get very specific data back from Kestrel
Here's exactly how that would work.
about what type of plasma cutter she thinks did this.
Getting to know you. Little did you know.
Flashbacks to your murderer memory.
Yeah, I could if we cross. Yeah. Could try it.
So I don't know if we want to investigate the scrap yards that were.
I speak trash.
Do we all see how I let that one go?
Yes, yeah, that was waiting.
I meant it.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I need to make sure you all understand
Right.
how nice I'm being.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay?
Sounds like I'm going to the kipple.
You want backup?
Yes.
That's probably a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're. Oh, sorry. So you're going to the yard. You're going to the. Is Kestrel going as well, or
We're going to the kipple. We're going to
Yeah.
the outer city where the scrapyard actually
yard?
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of you. All right.
Well, wait,
No, you're going to the precinct, right?
Well, I was gonna go to the precinct to talk to you all about this, but I figured sending it by the KA would be quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I want to go with you. If there's something else I want to look it up at the precinct.
There's always the concert hall stuff.
Yes. Actually, yeah, I'll go to the concert hall.
Somebody might want to take a little bit of a closer look at Noah too. He did fail his baseline.
What?
Oh, the
Oh yeah.
The law clerk.
law clerk.
Listen, I'm not in the mood to ruin someone today and send them back to. The name of the corporation is.
Wallace.
My brain went fully blank for a minute.
And if someone did fail a baseline, they would go back to Wallace, right? That'd be a Wallace connection.
Like in the LAPD, it's not an immediate trip back to Wallace.
Right, but like if Noah did.
In the case of Noah, he did.
Okay,
Probably because the UN has a more valuable contract
right.
than the LAPD. So it's like hey, he's not 100%. Can you take a look? You know, it's
Do we have a name on who at Wallace would have administrated his reprogramming?
no. You don't have a specific person's name, but it would probably still fall all under that engineer,
Okay.
uh, Janice O'Reilly.
Yeah, I will actually look into that. I'll look into that. The concert hall's not going anywhere. Plus, we have a lot of video from the concert hall.
You know that in 2 more shifts is the next actual concert.
Oh, that's fair. We can go there for that.
Yeah. What would I have to do to have a ticket for said concert?
Pay a lot.
Can I use my insider specialty? Oh, it's from the LAPD. Maybe the LAPD has some hookups. Advantage on all connections rolls to get gear/resources from the LAPD.
You can absolutely make
Requisition some tickets.
empathy connections roll to do.
Okay.
That's funny. It's
You
for
might-
work.
You might know somebody that could hook you up outside the structure of the LAPD also. It's depending on your role.
Yeah. Connections. That is a 6.
Okay. So,
But I didn't roll with advantage. But advantage would be my FA again.
yes.
6 again. So 2 6s.
On the 2 different dice.
2 6s on my empathy.
Okay, so it still counts as
So
a
yeah.
because you can't add the advantage dice successes.
Don't you?
Right.
Don't you add them all?
Wait,
I think you. Don't you add them all for this game?
In
Am I losing it?
in advance? No, you just take the better of the empathy ones. I thought.
Maybe I've been doing it wrong. Continue.
Maybe I'm got my head around it wrong. Maybe 54. Because you got 2 successes, I want to give you a different outcome. I'm gonna
Oh, sure.
make sure we get this right.
To the rules. Advantage. Under some circumstances, you gain an advantage on a roll, which means you get a 3rd die to roll, counting all successes.
Oh, there we go.
Very
So
good.
2
Yeah,
successes.
my bad. Cool. I don't think I screwed that up all along.
No,
we've
that's
been
what
adding it all together, which is why I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how we've been doing it.
That's why I wasn't sure when I said like another success. Like,
Great.
I think
Great.
this is right.
It's all good. It's all good. So with 2 successes, you know that you could get the LAPD to authorize you to buy a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Because the only way you're going to be able to get in there and start questioning people is if you attend. It's not going to be a thing where like a cop could show up and show your badge and get in for free.
Right.
Right. It's private security. It's the other success, having gotten a second success, you do know one of the players
Oh. Mm-hmm.
in the orchestra. So let's say you met like the second clarinet player at one point, and you've kept in touch. You've seen them at bars and parties and stuff.
Yeah.
A couple of times. You could probably finagle a ticket or a couple of tickets from them.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna try to finagle 2 tickets.
Okay.
And see which one of y'all are going with me.
It's me, the civilized one.
Obviously, you should take me.
Yeah.
Trash expert.
I love this.
So funny.
Did you two put all of the details from your conversation with the law clerk?
Yeah, I would have.
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
all went in.
Because we do have the chief judge that didn't like her, and also, who's gonna take her spot?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that motive.
Because Noah mentioned they're gonna need a new judge, and I was like, oh, who's that gonna be?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. That's a good lead. Adding that to my list of notes. Yeah, love that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get in contact with someone at Wallace to get information about the baseline tests and maybe try to get a meeting with O'Leary.
You can spend your shift heading to Wallace to make that happen.
Okay.
That's great. The getting a ticket thing, that's just over the KIA. You can handle that.
Okay.
Also, no problem. You do manage to get 2 tickets. They're not great seats. They're not the worst, but you're in the like up off the floor in the.
Oh yeah, like first mezzanine.
Yeah.
Mm,
But you're not the worst seats,
Right.
the back of the mezzanine.
or the even higher one.
Oh, that's right. They do
Because there's
have
like
a
that balcony
balcony.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're in the room.
Yeah.
And they can have them for you at will call.
Perfect. Love that.
I think they were kind of probably surprised to see you. Asking for ticket. You've never done it before, so it was like, oh, okay. I didn't know you were a fan. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I've heard great things, and it's been so long since we've gotten a chance to get drinks and catch up. Yada yada yada.
They can also get you into the like reception
Yes.
after.
The green room.
Very yes.
Nah, not quite the green room, but more
Okay.
like the after all the riffraff leaves.
Right.
Okay.
There's like the meet and greet between the performers and the.
The same thing our victim went to the night she
Yes.
went.
Mhm.
Love that.
So, that you guys are heading out to the Kipple scrapyard.
Yep.
Precinct.
Okay. All right.
To do normal things by the look on your face.
Yeah, going through the motions.
Don't worry, I am a normal man.
Hi, human.
Everything is fine.
All right. Well, let's start with the trip to the precinct. What's your goal?
I would like to meet with Chief Holden.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he'll take the meeting.
Okay.
He's around.
Okay.
He tends to, in your experience, he tends to just want to be in his office and be left alone. Because the more things he has to get involved in, the more work he has to do, and the more chances of something bad happening.
More injuries.
Yeah,
He just
it's
can't.
basically like
Aw.
he's got the worst case of senioritis, right? Like he's
Okay.
like, I just have to last a little longer to get
Yeah.
my full retirement.
Yeah.
I just come on, I
love
can do
him.
this.
I love him as an NPC build. He's just gonna sit there whenever I need him.
Just
Mhm.
ghosting.
He's just there. Um,
But he's also difficult to like pry into motion.
I was gonna say, does he have legs? Do we see his legs ever move, or he's just like
Yeah, you've seen
integrated
him,
into
like,
the chair? No, that's good.
He's a human from Wall-E.
Oh no!
no. He just goes
But I
over
was
and
going-
gets his shake every day. But no, yeah, like you've seen him get up and around,
Yeah.
right? That's a thing. But he just wants everybody to do their job so he doesn't have to do more work.
Okay.
That's his primary motivation.
Okay. Okay.
But he's there. You can get in to see him. That's
Okay.
fine.
So Chief, the reason I wanted to meet with you is because something odd about this case. It also relates to the prior investigation. I have a database of memories from Lilith, and there's actually a memory of a killer. What?
You're good.
who committed a crime similar to the one I just reported. I think there might be a
And-
tie to Wallace.
And you think that the killer is the same between your replicant death and the judge?
No, not yet. I just think there is a tie. It's parallel
Okay.
to the actual crime and the fabricated memory, which means there's a tie to Wallace. And I need to find out the connection to this memory and a possible replicant psychopath. But I haven't heard back from Quell.
Okay.
I'm sure they're busy or they're smoke screening.
Well, or they just don't want to have to be involved with us lowly folk. What do you think? Is there anything I can do to help? Get
Well-
you more information, or is that why you're here? Or
Well, I just wanted to let you know, and if there's any way you can speed up getting some contact from Wallace, or if you could, if you know from your experience, if there's any way I can make an appointment and get into Wallace directly. I think it would help if I could do some research. I don't know if this memory has been implanted in someone, but if it is, it's a public health concern.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. That lady must have been pretty wild, coming up with reasons to have people thinking they're killers.
It's pretty twisted, so. But
Yeah.
But she couldn't have implanted the memories. That would have been Wallace. That means they put a killer on the streets.
If they did, let's not go sticking a dagger in the golden goose.
It's an if.
Um,
I don't plan on ruffling any feathers, Chief. I just need to
sure. Well,
connect the dots.
let me make a call over there, and then I'll see about if I can get you an appointment to see somebody to check records,
Okay.
something. Yeah. I am specifically not going to call Quell. I'm going to try and get an end run around the shield that is their PR department.
Sounds good.
But I hope I can get you in there pretty soon. I certainly don't want replicant serial killer on the loose. That would not be a great deal.
Well, I think it would look bad for Wallace and by extension for LAPD. So the sooner we can close this case, the better for all of us.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
Hopefully they'll see the sense in it too. I'm sure you'll help them see that.
I'll do my best.
That's all we can do, Chief. Meanwhile, I'm gonna spend some time walking a beat around town, putting the word out, asking some people on the street if they've heard anything unusual. anything that might give me a clue, or I don't know, some leads to follow.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you get out there and beat the bushes and see what you can find. That's what you're good at. And then I'll try and maybe open a side door for you.
Okay.
And see how far I can get. I'll let you know.
Okay, Chief.
All right.
All right.
So let me roll for the chief. Okay. You hear back from him in like an hour. He doesn't have an official appointment for you, but he knows a guy that's willing to let you in to take a look at some of their implantation stuff.
Okay.
And see if there's any connection to this memory you have.
Okay.
But it's pretty on the down low, and you get directions on how to get to the building, and you come in a service entrance kind of a thing, and somebody will meet you there.
Okay. Is it like an ice cold facility where refrigerated jacket?
No, it's not
Really,
that
James
guy.
Wong is there.
I would love that.
I love him.
Please, can we put him in this campaign? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's too good. That's. I remember the first time I played through Diablo 3.
Oh.
And then suddenly he's there speaking, and I'm like, what?
I know that voice. Hold on. Wait a minute. That's actually, I watched the first movie again leading into this, and I was just like, I somehow omitted from my brain that was him.
Mm.
And so when he started speaking, I was just like, jump scare.
Yeah, he's a national treasure.
Love him.
Okay. So I'll let. No, I won't let the team know just yet. But I'm
As far as getting around town and checking on anything for the rest of your shift,
yes.
why? Let's. I will give you a choice. Either empathy connections or intelligence insight, whichever's better.
Empathy connections.
Okay.
Where it is. Okay. One success.
Okay. So you get out there and you start talking to a couple of the people you know around town, right? You're like, if you've heard anything about any kind of related crimes, let me know, give me a call. And the first couple of people you talk to are like, no, that's fucked up. I'm not
Absolutely
like,
not.
the first guy's like, not me. I just help smuggle things for the black market. I am not in the murder business. Move along. The next guy is more like, well, sometimes people gotta die, but that's not my bag.
I love this guy.
Then you finally do get to someone who tells you about another crime a while ago, right? Several months ago. And they heard about it because they worked at the restaurant where it happened. And it was the sous chef of the restaurant that had gone out back for a smoke break, and they found him later with lit cigarettes stuck into his ears and nose, and he had been looked like somebody had taken his head and just repeatedly mashed it into the dumpster, and so what was left was just a bloody mess, but he just had these lit cigarettes.
Okay.
And they're like, that's fucked up. Sounds like the fucked up stuff you've been finding. I don't know if it's related. They give you the name of the restaurant, that kind of stuff.
How recent was it?
But it's in they're like, I wasn't there. I heard about this. It's in the nebulous last few months.
Okay. All right.
Like, since I heard that story, I only take my smoke breaks out front. Like that's the kind of
I love
Yeah.
this guy.
street level
Didn't
paranoia.
quit, just,
Right.
No, that's not a reason to quit smoking. Please.
what? Smoking will apparently kill you.
So this, and was this reported to the cops? Do you know if anyone came? And okay.
I'm assuming. Like I said, I wasn't there. I just heard about this.
Okay. So I'll I'll start looking through case files.
I mean, you find a case file on it.
Okay.
There's no lead. Much like the case I was talking to Gavin about earlier. They're like, somebody beat the shit out of this guy in the alleyway and stuffed his nose and ears with cigarettes.
It indicated
fuck-
like brutal, great strength,
I mean,
struggle.
Like somebody took a grown man
Yeah.
and repeatedly bashed his head into
Yeah.
a dumpster.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I will let the team know about that one.
Sure.
Okay.
Are we just fishing for cases now? Via KIA.
I mean, it is assigned to other detectives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like they're either working very hard on it or have any
Mhm.
leads.
You think this is connected to what was his name, Lucas? The Ultimate
Do we
Warrior.
know
Yeah,
about
warrior.
Lucas?
Hmm?
Do we all know about Lucas?
I reported it to you guys.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm drawing connections. It seems related. It's not our case, but it's still a
So
clue.
You going
Wait.
vigilante on us?
Oh, I'm investigating.
I'm much more worried about the UN than, no offense, some rep.
was your sous chef a replicant too?
Hmm.
No.
No.
Okay.
The
Like
the connection.
the little bit of press that the sous chef thing got was basically like they were an up and coming chef in the culinary scene of Los Angeles. It's such a shame, you know. Is the LAPD going to do nothing about the fact that our shining stars of the culinary scene can just be brutally murdered in an alley? Like, what are we going to eat? Like, there's,
What are we gonna
different-
smoke?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we gonna smoke? It's connected to memories. It relates back to Lilith.
Sounds like someone should have quit while he still had a head.
I wouldn't have put you down for dark humor.
I wouldn't have put you down for humor.
Smiley face.
I live for these text chains.
Any leads on our UN killer?
This is connected to that. It's related to a memory about mirrors.
I have a memory about us having a case where if we don't fix it, the UN's gonna breathe down our necks until we die.
Yeah, I'm not seeing these dots connecting that you are, Fjor. You want to spell it out for us?
Brutal murder,
A lot of those.
and the other related to a memory about mirrors. Another murder, overpowered by brute strength. Also, a specific memory in my database related to.
It's a big database. Feel like you could find a memory for any case we got.
Yeah, it's true. But
Towns full of gruesome people.
these involve someone with great strength committing brutal murders. That's not statistically common.
UN didn't necessarily show that they use great strength, just a great tool.
But it's still connected to a memory.
I think in our spinner you get Kestrel. Are you going vigilante on us again?
What I do in my spare time's not your concern.
If the right person shows up with enough money, fuck yeah, let's go.
I gotta agree with Kestrel. I'm not seeing connection between your Jack the Replicant and this murder.
That's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Jack the Replicant.
I mean, that's literally what we're thinking. Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Be curious about your memory database, but I think for now I'm gonna worry about what cut a judge in half. Sad for our friend Lucas.
Hopefully they're not related, but if they are, I just want to see it out, see the connections. But I might be approaching Wallace about it as well.
Oh, making new friends?
Always.
Do you want me to report it? I'm on my way there.
On your way to Wallace?
Yeah.
Not yet. Like you said, may not be a connection. But for now, we're all just looking for leads, so this is mine. Good luck with yours.
This spinner ride is so long.
It is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a ways.
You are trapped in a small space with a Jack Russell Terrier. Enjoy.
You are trapped in a small space with the guard dog who like doesn't move or blink.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's go there. That's the obvious choice at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in the spinner for a while.
Forever.
Why don't we randomize and see if anything happens on the way up?
Sure.
Awesome.
Random encounter table. Let's go.
I love a random encounter
It is
table.
kind of. Well, let's use a D8 again. That works well. So one of you roll a D8.
I will
Well, but
sacrifice myself.
who's piloting?
Do we have to drive? I think that it just
The
drives
car
itself.
will do it.
Yeah.
It drives itself, yeah.
I mean, somebody can be if you'd prefer.
You probably don't want Kestrel to drive.
Honestly, if we're in there long enough, Haru might just go a little stir crazy.
We'll get there a lot faster. But
Yeah, we're gonna take the chaotic option here.
Okay.
It's a 4.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So the decision is that Kestrel is actively
No,
piloting.
Haru is.
Oh, you're actively piloting.
Yeah, of
Okay, very
course.
good.
great.
So you're driving along, and once you get out of the city, there's nobody in the sky, right? It is not a, yeah, you can just floor it
Yeah.
and you're going, no problem. But you start to notice after a while that there is something else in the sky. Kind of like appears in your peripherals as you're driving, like through the cloud cover. Just fades in, fades out, fades in, fades out kind of thing. Seldom enough that you're not like, there's something fucking over there.
You're
It's
just
more like,
Did
did I see something over there? What the?
Yeah.
Oh, it must have been a hill or
Mhm.
a pile of shit or who knows.
Sure.
But you get over in modern times over the line into like where you divide like North Orange County and South Orange County.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So you get over the line into South Orange County, right? And you're inland from Newport,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Very familiar with where we are.
Mhm.
And out of a sort of cloud bank next to you, another spinner kind of pulls out a little ahead of you and then jerks back into it quickly.
Hey.
I see it. I don't love that.
Nope.
I have a dumb question. Do spinners like have windows I can shoot out of?
I mean, they do have a little port that you could slide open and shoot from.
Okay,
You don't have a great field of fire, so it's not going to be.
sure.
You're a turret.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're side facing.
Yeah.
You don't have something out the front
Okay.
or the back.
Right.
It's like a car, right? Like you could.
Yeah.
Did I get a good look at like the actual spinner? Does it have any identification on it?
Do an intelligence observation roll.
Rolling dice. I don't know.
Yeah. Sometimes I try and involve mechanics in the game, but then you guys just go off and tell a cool story, and I'm just like.
Observation. Hey, Haru has good observation. Even if they roll poorly, we're gonna push.
Oh.
Only to make it a bad idea later. Hold on, I screwed up my sheet. There we go. Alright, we're gonna push.
The dice
is that
said
It
two
got
no.
pushes?
worse. No, that was one push.
Oh, one push. Okay.
I should not push again.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to.
Oh no.
Oh no.
In the middle of nowhere, let's go.
It's fine.
I only use this for bad choices. Okay, and that's 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay. It is absolutely not a registered vehicle.
Fantastic.
It does not have any kind of plate markings. It looks like it's. If I say this, I don't want the full breadth of what I'm about to say,
Okay.
but it kind of looks like a Reaver ship from Firefly.
Got you. I follow you. Yeah,
Right. Like it is cobbled together
Raiders.
and looks gross, and it's leaking stuff
Uh-huh.
out the bottom, and like
We're in the
probably
kibble.
held together by whatever
Yeah.
out here.
This is where
I'm gonna go into turret mode and just like where it went back into the cloud on that side, just like aim and wait.
Can I point something out? If you're high enough for there to be clouds, the wind speed and pressure are.
Well, there's low clouds in at
In
least some
almost
of this area.
all of
Yeah.
The LA area. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna.
I mean,
Down
yes,
over
you're still traveling at aerial vehicle speeds.
Yeah.
So opening the little, and that's why the windows in the spinner open like
Yeah.
the windows in like an old Lamborghini Countach, right?
Mm.
It's just a little thing. You
Mhm.
only get a little bit of window out of this bigger window. So you're not like put down a whole big sheet of glass like, oh.
Yeah. I just need the barrel of my gun outside the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like, it does dramatically increase the volume inside the vehicle. You get a lot of wind noise.
Yeah.
The temperature drops, but you guys are
It
fine.
masks the screaming.
Sure.
And maybe a little bit of drag. It might
One
slow
of
you
us
down
is
too.
screaming. Spoilers. It's not Kestrel.
Screaming for joy.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on, I need to kind of sort these out a little bit.
Yep, I'm looking with my special eyes in my book for no reason because nothing bad is gonna happen to us.
Everything's fine.
Because someday I'm gonna make people have a chase mechanic.
I know. I love the chase mechanics of this game.
All right.
Raiders on Raiders.
Hey, welcome. The Liching Hour. I love it.
A little concerning.
Let me hand you guys those.
Oh boy. Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
This is fine. We have a bunch of cards. Everything's fine.
So, there's also, first off, I handed them, and I'm keeping one of the sets, of chase maneuvers. So in this case, you have entered a chase. You're not entirely aware of it yet. They still have a little bit of advantage on you, but the next step is going to be we get to pick what your planned maneuver is, and they will pick what their planned maneuver is.
Mhm.
We reveal them at the same time, and then we figure out what obstacle comes up. And I have a little deck of aerial chase obstacles, and if it works out like the last chase, you'll come across an
A
LAPD
set of LAPD officers,
Immediately.
and it'll stop
Spinners.
immediately.
in the sky, and we'll see what happens. You have various maneuvers you can choose from represented on your cards.
So we're technically the prey.
Yes, in this case, you are the prey.
Okay.
For now, it
Yeah.
can
That feels like
change.
the Kestrel option.
But you have the option of pursue or flee as the predator or prey. You can stand and shoot, where you do a power slide and just shoot out the window. That could be a thing. You can try and hide, dodge into the cloud bank, or dive low, get low to the ground and see if they miss you. You can try and block. In this case, a block would be
Hard.
It's a prey move. It's a hard thing to do, but consider it like you maneuver close to an obstacle, like the remnants of a tall building, and you dodge past it in a way that forces them to not be able to do their full maneuver because they have to react to whatever you have blocked. And then the pursuer has a maneuver called cut off, which is they can get in front of you and block your maneuver. And then finally, there's other. If you come up with something wild that is not covered by one of these other cards, other is your choice. And then we'll figure it out on the fly.
Could other include like strafing, like if Haru flew low down and Kestrel was firing out the window down to the ground?
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be other,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Nudge,
Yeah.
hint, hint.
The good old crazy Ivan.
This is what they're inclined
It's
to
the
do.
bottom half of the hour.
But if Kestrel yelled at them, they would do this.
Pursue, flee. Yeah, I think Kestrel's instinct is stand and shoot. I want to
Okay.
shoot this thing down.
And she's ready to do it. So if she says, like, honestly, Haru would just be like, okay.
Yeah, she probably yells at you to hold it steady so I can shoot them.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, then we can
Yeah.
try something else.
We're going to do what Kestrel says.
So you've chosen your maneuver.
Mhm.
I have an idea what it is
Yeah.
based on your negotiations, but I don't actively know. And now I will pick an obstacle that comes up.
What could possibly go wrong?
Okay. So in this, the obstacle is get low, right? You feel the need to get out of the clouds, and we'll work this in here. It gives an advantage to hide, block, cut off maneuvers, and a disadvantage to pursue, flee, and stand and shoot.
Of course, the two
Mhm.
options that we were talking
Yep.
about. Uh-huh.
That's fine.
So
Hilarious.
it also is a disadvantage for your pursuit because they were trying to pursue, flee. So both sides now roll their roll in this case at disadvantage.
So it says the skill is ranged combat, but we don't have. That's not on our chart.
It's your gun.
The firearms?
Is it just firearms?
Yeah, it's your firearms.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I think Haru, like, banks low, thinking, like, oh yeah, we're going to get below the clouds.
If you were in an armored vehicle or something with weapons attached to it, you
Uh-huh.
might get a different die number.
Okay,
But in this case, it's just going to be your firearms.
got it.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
Haru's
good
like,
job.
we're in the clouds and you can't see the thing they're shooting at, so we're just gonna dive low.
Okay, I got
3.
3 successes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
With disadvantage,
Oh, no.
Oh.
You
so you have to
dropped
roll
one.
2 of your agility die and pick the
Wait.
worst one.
Is that one the agility die? Oh, no, that's a different one. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
2 successes then.
Okay.
Wait,
Wait,
no.
no.
No, that's still 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually better. Wait, is that 4?
No, it's 3 because you dropped
You
the
take
lower of the 2 d12s.
But then that's...
Oh, you dropped the higher of the 2 d12s.
Yeah,
that one.
disadvantage means you take the
Oh,
worst
right.
of the d12.
Right.
So it's 3.
3. Still 3.
Still 3. Well, there. The fate's declared.
So what happens when you roll really well?
Good
So-
job,
Good dice.
Good
In-
dice. Good job.
In this case, what ends up happening is it looks like they outpaced you a little bit and got ahead of you. Like they've been kind of mirroring you and trying to stay hidden. They outpaced you and they came out to try and sideswipe you maybe, but then realized they were ahead of you, right? Because their visibility is also shitty. So they essentially hit the brakes to kind of get back up on you. But they didn't anticipate that Kestrel was just going to be like rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat out the window. What's the damage number on that weapon that you were firing?
Okay. So I'm using the Ender assault rifle that I picked up from that guy I accidentally murdered. And the
Oops.
damage is 2 and the crit die is D10. Piercing.
Okay. So, let's see. You have the page number on the crit table?
For the gun?
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah,
for like
all
the
the
ranged combat. Yeah.
It is.
Damage on 70, maybe?
Combat. The whole book flagged it.
Yeah, I got
Crit,
it.
there it is.
73. Okay. So
73.
roll 2d10s.
Okay.
Can you insta-death a car?
I got a 6 and a 4.
Okay. 6 and a 4. Okay. So you firing out the window, you obviously do some damage to this cobbled together spinner. And you manage to take out one of the like anti-grav pods, right?
Mhm.
In place of where one of the wheels would be on this thing. So it starts listing at a funny angle. And then you stitch another set of shots across the windshield, which spider webs the glass. It doesn't break away because it's specifically on spinners, it's designed not to just shatter. It tries to hold its shape, right? It's probably something like covered in a ballistic gel or something that in case of a bird strike, or not that there's birds anymore, but they were designed at a time there might have been. But something like that, or who knows what.
People throwing stuff out of windows.
To not shatter on the
Like people. People
Right.
throwing people.
Just
Yeah.
people throwing things out of windows.
just
Don't
in
worry
case
about
there's
it.
a people out a window.
Defenestration. It's fun.
Yeah. It happens more than you think. So they're going to be at a disadvantage going forward on anything that involves observation,
Okay.
Nice.
right? So any move that they take that might need that is what's going to happen. They are not out of it, though. You see that they're listing a little bit, but they're definitely trying to, at this point, they're trying to pull up and like ram into your spinner.
Cool.
Maybe it's to try and force it down. Maybe it's to try and do damage and cause you to crash. They're not sure exactly, but that's their goal. So you guys can choose another maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
But this one would be to that one.
Yeah. This is what she wants you
Yeah,
to
I think that that's what Haru would do anyways.
Mhm.
This is their natural instinct
do.
in life.
Chosen?
Yes.
All right. Let's see what the next obstacle is. Look, we got 2 cards out of the chase mechanic.
Yay!
Oh. A smog cloud.
Oh, how nice.
Uh-huh.
Polluted smog thickens as the chase continues. It's going to be difficult for you to keep an eye on them and for them to keep an eye on you. What maneuver did you choose?
Hide.
You get advantage.
Yeah.
In this case, the pursuer has to make an observation just to keep an eye on.
Ready.
So, let us see. Oh, and I need 2 of these because disadvantage.
Okay.
Did you get any successes?
1.
Okay. So, the condensation of the smog cloud kind of just, and like, it's to the point where it actively looks like pouring in the gun window, right? Around the barrel of your gun, there's just this, and it stinks. It's this acrid sort of industrial smell. And you're just like, the cabin of your vehicle fills up with this stuff. It kicks on like a air purifier mode to try and keep it clear enough for you to see, but you are able to kind of dive down in amongst sort of the ruins of all of those multi-million-dollar homes up on the hills above like Newport Coast and Laguna, like through that stretch. So you get all the way down and disappear.
Turn off the lights.
Yeah, disappear into that. You manage to see that they kind of had swerved into the space you used to be, but then go off. They had completely lost track of you in this. Probably because they had a perforated front windshield, so it would just pour this stinky smoke into the cabin, and they were unable to keep an eye on you. So you have successfully managed to evade them.
Hell yeah. Nice work.
Cool. All right.
We chased.
You did a
We
thing.
did a chase.
So the rest of your trip down there is uneventful. You managed to get to the scrapyard, and you can see it's actually the old like Coronado Naval Base
Okay.
Oh.
down San Diego way,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's heaps of trash and stuff that have essentially built a land bridge from the land to Coronado Island.
Cool.
And they are mining through all of that with heavy industrial equipment and scooping out bits. You can see that there's like a leaned over hulk of an old Navy ship on the other side of that kind of defines the edge of this scrapyard. And all the way around, they have built a wall out of old shipping containers and put turrets. It looks like automated turrets around it as they go through all this for who knows what they're recycling.
Is there a way to signal to not shoot us with the turrets?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you can totally communicate.
Cool.
Your vehicle shows up as an official LAPD vehicle,
Yeah.
and all of that. So you were allowed to come in and land. There is a cleared off area where it looks like there's sort of like a small office city of like portable trailers kind of thing that's set up here. And there's a landing pad, and then they have like some industrial landing pads where they're bringing in big
Loaders and
cargo
stuff.
loader kind of spinners and filling them up with stuff to take them off to assume be smelted into stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And you land there, and out of one of the trailers comes a guy that looks like every stevedore you can imagine, all put into one person. And he's kind of this barrel-chested dude that rumbles down some steps and kind of like, listen, we didn't do anything wrong here. We've got all our permits.
We just got some questions. We're not here to do any kind of inspection.
Oh, okay. All right. I like that. What can I do for you?
We have some questions about a recent court dispute, a legal dispute.
Ah. And he kind of does like the listen close. And you can hear, presumably from the other side of the wall of containers, you can hear a bunch of voices that are yelling like, give us our fucking jobs back. You need like just random mob yelling, angry. And he's like, Yep. They're pretty upset.
Well, refresh my memory. We know that this court case is unresolved currently?
It is ongoing.
Yeah,
It's ongoing,
yeah.
And it's that this company fired all their human workers and brought in
And brought in
replicant workers
replicants.
because they're cheaper.
So, I don't know how much you know about the goings on of the court, but
Well, I know I pay that fucking lawyer a lot.
Yeah,
What's the name?
you're.
Name of your lawyer?
Blah blah blah.
Bob blah blah.
Nope. Specifically,
In Newport Beach? Unheard of.
What?
It is.
Henry Winkler.
Ah, yeah. Henrik.
Heinrich Winkler.
There it is.
Think of
No. The lawyer's name is Charlotte Harper.
Okay.
So, your court case is probably going to hit some snags coming up. I was just wondering, what are your feelings about your,
What do you mean hit some snags?
Answer the questions. We'll let you know.
your docket number's going to get pushed back a little.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not in charge. I'm just here to ask some questions.
I had a 3-month work stoppage because of this case. And now you're telling me it's going to go longer?
Hopefully not too much longer. But
Okay.
how do you feel the case is going?
I think I have every right to hire whoever I want.
And you're hiring direct from Wallace, right?
Well, yeah.
You're on contract through Wallace?
Yeah. I have a standing purchase order.
Mm-hmm.
You feel good about the job your lawyer's doing?
Seems like everything's going the way it should.
You feel like the judge is going to rule in your favor?
My lawyer says there's no reason why they shouldn't. I've never met the judge. I don't go to the case. It's a civil case. I don't have to be there, so I tend to try and be here to work. But the
But-
lawyer says things are going well, and there's no law that says you can't replace your workforce.
Wonderful. And you've met your lawyer. This
Yes.
isn't just a digital hire.
Yeah. We've had a meeting. We've
No.
had several.
No one from your organization attends the trial then.
No, I mean, the lawyer, but
And your opposition, your former workers, would you say they have a ringleader?
yeah.
And who would that be?
Go back to my list.
We're asking Dave the hard questions tonight.
All the names.
Yay!
Love names.
No, it's fine. Like, I'm prepared for names. I just have a list,
Yeah.
and I didn't bring it up before we started because that
You're so valid.
would have been a good idea. Leo Alexander.
And where is Mr. Alexander located these days? Since obviously it's not here.
He might be on the other side of the wall, out there screaming.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he's been agitating that they should get protections like an old union out of the movies or out of the books.
So we don't do that anymore.
But we don't need that here. I mean, there's other things they could be doing with themselves other than working a dangerous job. Like, I'm just trying to help people not have to work a dangerous job
Yeah,
and to
'cause
make more money.
Jobs are aplenty out here in the Keppel.
they could head back to the city.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be out here? Just taking the bus down from the city, you
Buddy,
might
I'm
get
from here.
murdered. Well, you made the right choice then. You moved to the city and joined the LAPD. You got a good job.
Uh-huh.
Everybody out there could go find a good job. I'd rather be a restaurant server in the city than be a laborer out here.
Kestrel, do you have any other questions for our wonderful boss here?
Just for our records, what were your whereabouts on the night of? Gives him approximate date and time
yeah.
of murder.
Well, I was, let's see, was I here? Or was I at my apartment?
Follow-up question, where is your apartment?
It's the south side of the city,
Mm-hmm.
out by the seawall. You know, I don't make that much money out here, but I've got a nice place. I commute, and he points over at a older but okay looking spinner. Like, it's not
Mm-hmm.
in terrible shape.
It's not
Or
fancy.
it is not. It is not. Like, this guy is a small company boss.
Yeah.
Not like, I am the mega recycling mastermind.
Yes.
Like, so he's doing better than his poor employees outside, but he's not rolling in it.
He's out here in the kipple. He's not wealthy.
Right. Yeah. And then he kind of ponders a little bit, and he's like, I'm sure I would have been back home.
Can anybody confirm that?
Well, I mean, my wife and kids.
Mhm.
I come down and I spend 3 or 4 days here, and then I go back
You're
for the rest of the week. Essentially. Things have gotten a little better when I started with the new workforce.
Does your new workforce have a foreman?
Well, sure. And he rattles off serial number.
Cool.
Okay. Just like have a quick chat with them.
Sure. They'll be out. And he kind of points, and there's like one of those magnet cranes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They'll be up there.
And if we can get the information for Charlotte Harper as well, we would like to be in touch.
Oh, yeah, sure. And he
Yeah.
goes back in the office and comes back and hands you a little plastic business card.
Yeah.
You get any further agitation from the opposition to your case or otherwise, let us know.
Well, hey, that sounds great. Yeah. Can you do anything about getting them to clear out of here?
I'm going to go have a conversation with them. That is not the LAPD's job.
Well, I know, but you're all the way here.
We have
Maybe I could get something for you if you could help me out.
You got something worth giving?
Maybe. And he kind of, he's like, hang on a minute. And he goes and he comes back with, like, it's a selection of 2010s personal electronics,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't work, but they're there. And sometimes they're collector items. Like, you know, there is a value in some of these things. Like, there are people that have refurbished old iPods and people that want to use this clunky ass old looking laptop because the hipster scene isn't going anywhere.
No.
Like this, yeah. So like he kind of pulls out this container that he has and he's like, so I've got a couple of these. I'd be willing to.
Haru looks at Kestrel, looks back at the bin. I think our resources might be better spent elsewhere, but I am still going to go have a chat with them.
Hey, great. If something happens, come back and see me. If you can talk to them into maybe head, like, you can tell him I'd be willing to pay for the bus fare.
All right.
Get him back to town.
Do something for your workers. Want to go talk to the foreman? Do you
Quick
need
chat.
backup?
No, but you might want it for the protesters.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a lot of. Sounds like there's a lot of them out there.
I don't know, I like a crowd.
So you're going to the foreman first, or?
Yeah.
We're already in here.
Yeah, we're already in
Yeah.
here.
Sure. You get over there, and it's, 30 meters up this scaffolding,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a ladder, right? It is not a lift. It's just make your way up.
I'll,
You want to wait down here?
Yeah.
That's the very next question I was going to have.
Haru just walks up to the ladder, looks at Kestrel, looks at their kind of nice shoes standing on the ground. Yeah, okay.
Slings gun over her shoulder, starts climbing.
Why don't you make a strength stamina roll with advantage?
Okay. Okay. That is 2 successes.
You get up to the cab of this crane without any problem. And you get in there, and like the crane's been moving around and doing thing, lifting and moving, and sometimes they use the big weighted magnet thing to kind of clear away pile. And then down where this has been lifting things out, you see that there is a crew of maybe 20 or 30 people that are down there amongst it. You don't have a good eye on that, but
No.
as you've gotten to higher Kestrel, you see that. And sitting there in this control chair with several monitors around them is, you presume, this foreman, who, when the door opens, kind of like immediately lets go of the controls, so it goes back to just a resting stop, and turns and is like, "Can I help you?"
You're fine. Continue working. I have a few questions.
Oh, very good. I should focus on your questions instead of splitting my attention.
Great. You the new foreman.
Yes.
For the
yes.
scrapyard?
Mhm.
Your boss treat you guys okay?
I mean, we're employed. And we're doing a job.
Mm-hmm. You and the new replicant crew.
Yes, we are provided with nutrients and housing. And he kind of gestures down at the couple of trailers. And clearly, they're kind of set up like bunkhouses.
There's a lot of protesters outside. They give you guys any trouble?
We have had several times where people have tried to climb over the retaining wall. We've started work in the morning several times to find people chained to valuable bits. And then we have to cut them free and send them on their way.
Anybody particularly violent?
Some scuffles. They've attacked several of the workers. But nothing major. Certainly nothing that has involved any, repairs or warranty.
Good. Are you aware of the court case that's going on?
Yes. We certainly hope that we can continue to be of service.
Fair enough. Anything escalates with the protesters outside, or your boss starts treating you guys bad, you let me know. She gives them her contact.
Well, thank you. I certainly hope that nothing gets worse in either direction.
Same here. I won't keep you any longer.
No, thank you for your visit. It has been a different day.
Oh, buddy.
Come on, Data.
Big yikes.
It was agreeable to see
Somebody
you.
worse at being,
Yeah.
somebody worse at being a person than Kestrel.
Oh no.
Wow.
You know that there are different levels of replicants.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So these are clearly industrial labor replicants. And he's probably an order of magnitude higher up the chain than the ones that are down there working.
A fancy
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Gives him the essential verbal pat on the head and leave.
Yes.
Good job.
Oh
bud.
no.
Stay safe.
Well, the whole time Haru's trying to look like foreboding and dangerous, like no one else is allowed to climb this ladder. No one's probably challenging them on this.
But he's tried. Yeah.
And they're small, so it's very funny to me. And they're just like looking.
Cool. You probably see that some of the things that are specifically being gathered are like ancient ordnance from the Navy base,
Mhm.
stuff like that. But it's not continually hazardous. Like it's not an armed weapon that they're extracting. It's more like they're pulling the depleted uranium from shells. They're, separating out steel from more exotic things, that kind of stuff.
Hopefully not in concert with the ordinances, but do I see any plasma torches?
There absolutely are some of the workers that are cutting away at larger bits,
Mhm.
especially to move things. But yeah, they've got, it looks like a those like hip bags
Mm-hmm.
that attach to a belt and then have a thigh belt,
Oh yeah.
almost like a
Mhm.
holster, but
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
that size of a thing
Mhm.
that looks to be attached to what looks like sort of like a gun
Yeah.
with a heavy duty cable on a spiral. And they kind of unholster the gun part and cut off a piece of steel or whatever pretty quickly.
I think just when Kestrel returns, Haru just points at one of them, just as a like, we're seeing this.
Let's go talk to the owner real quick again. I'm gonna need one of those for science.
All right.
Sure.
It's just on our way back to the protesters. What was our
Foreman.
the owner guy's name?
We didn't come up with a
No,
name for him.
we didn't name him.
His name.
What did you do?
The random. Okay, so like I made a list of names and then like it'll pair first and last. It literally gave me Jack Daniel.
I love
But
it.
I love
no.
him.
All right, apparently that's what we're going with.
It's like the most alcoholic related episode ever.
When you get back to town, you need to go out to brunch and have mimosas, I guess.
Yeah.
The next step.
Perfect. So we'll go back to Mr. Daniel. So your workers use a plasma cutter. Is that
Oh, sure,
standard
sure.
for your workforce?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of them. They take them out as needed, and they usually have 2 or 3 guys out there that do cutting work.
Have you had any go missing lately?
No?
Search your records. Let us know if you do find any that are missing.
We're
Sure,
gonna
sure.
need to borrow one.
I mean,
for the time being.
we go through them out here.
You go through them.
They only last so long. There's only so many recharge cycles.
Yeah, I mean, tools, workforce, they don't all stick around for that long.
I mean, that's the point, right? You replace things that are broken.
Get him.
Haru just stares into the middle distance for a minute.
I'm struggling so hard to try and portray somebody that seems like a good guy, but is also not.
Yeah, you're doing a
No,
really
you're
good
fantastic.
job. You're doing a
Like,
really
oh.
good job.
You feel Kestrel just put a hand on your shoulder, and she just pointedly looks at the guy and is like, I'm gonna need you to grab one of those plasma cutters for me before we leave.
All right, okay. And he'll march back up into the trailer and he comes out with one. He's like, it's not all the way charged yet. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay.
You can send it back, or you can requisition the financial compensation from the LAPD.
Well, I was gonna add, do I get like a receipt or anything?
Do I have paper?
I mean, you could send a digital
yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
something
I'll
like
send
that.
him a digital, like,
Sure.
here, I took your plasma cutter.
Great.
That's probably literally what it says.
I owe you
Yeah.
1 plasma cutter.
It's just on LAPD.
It's a good thing paper is scarce, because otherwise Haru would have literally just read "I owe you" and then slammed it against the person's chest.
Sure. So are you filing it officially that you have taken this?
Yes.
Or is this a under the table thing?
No. This
Okay.
is on the table.
Legit.
I'm gonna
Okay.
take it to Coco and we're gonna perform some tests.
Great.
For science. Hey Coco, you know how
He's
you
gonna be
didn't
so
have a
excited.
plasma torch?
Uh-uh.
You do now.
So you send him all the paperwork. It turns out it's like it would be like a many-page little booklet of all of the indemnification of the LAPD and
I'm not doing that.
all of, but I mean that stuff
It's
all
done.
auto-populates, right?
Great.
Like,
There's AI for that now.
Yeah.
Terms and conditions.
Yeah.
so you getting all that, and he receives it and goes, all right, and hands you it's about 45% charged. And he hands it to you and goes, all right, well, thanks again. And, again, if you can get them to take up the offer on a bus ticket or anything, I'll owe you one.
It's the next stop on our little tour.
Fantastic. Well,
Your junkyard.
feel free to leave your spinner parked here. Wouldn't be safe to take it out there.
No.
Where's your gate?
Any kind of
Haru, who was fully planning to take the spinner on the other side, is going like, I hate that you have a point. Kestrel, why does he have a point?
He's right, we should walk.
So he kind of gestures over, and there's like he just rattles off a number, the
Yeah.
code for the keypad, and he's like, "That'll get you in and out." Yeah, and it's actually, essentially, it's just an offset shipping container that has like little electric dolly feet underneath it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you punch in the code, and the thing goes to and moves to the side.
Amazing.
And will let you out, and then it rolls back into place.
Awesome. Shipping container pocket door.
I love this.
Yeah,
So fun.
but before we get out there, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
we
Yep.
should take our little break.
Yeah, let's do it.
And also, I've gotten bad again this episode about concluding a person, moving on to the next one, and not jumping around.
You can come back to us.
Fine.
I apologize. We'll
It's a
get
good
back
place
to it in just a couple
break
of
for us.
minutes. For those of you watching at home, we will be back shortly. We're all going to take a minute, stretch our legs, take care of the appropriate business, and then we'll be back to you real quick. Welcome back. Yes. Hold on, I forgot to write down the time. Code
Code time.
227. Perfect. We have returned from the necessities, and now we are getting back to finishing up this shift. Let's shift off of you guys for a minute. We'll come back for your meeting with the protesters outside. Gavin and your journey to the Wallace.
To the Wallace Corp. Yes.
So you arrive.
Mm-hmm.
There is a guest parking garage. Assuming you're taking a spinner.
Oh, absolutely.
You get close to the building, like you can see it, and your spinner, like the logo changes from LAPD to Wallace, and it,
Oh,
like the lighting scheme inside changes, like the ambient light of the vehicle changes,
Come on, Disney. Let's go.
Danger Violet.
Wow.
and it pilots itself in and parks it in one of these guest parking spots. You're greeted by, assumably, a replicant.
Mm-hmm.
Like a valet, but they don't take your car. They just stand there and open the door after it's settled and kind of gesture for you to go inside. And you can see there's probably 10 or 15 of these valets around this lot that are just standing out there. And they're all dressed in... it looks a little bit like you're wearing your coat. Right? It's a coat like that, but no collars.
Mhm.
Like it's just up to here,
Mm.
sort of collarless, just doesn't even look like there's a stitched edge there. It's just there. And they're long. Like near floor length
Oh, okay.
kind of coats. And they're just sort of and as soon as you have walked onto the walkway and start heading into the building, they just kind of step up to the edge of the walkway and stand there again, waiting for the next car to arrive.
How many cars are there?
Probably 10 to 20.
Okay.
And from where you parked, you know you're about halfway up the building, and you can't see the top. Like, it is this massive, geometrical, brutalist-looking shape. And the outside even looks like it's kind of made out of stone. You don't know if it really is, but
Right.
it certainly looks like... It looks like the kind of edifice that is trying to be built that would be found here in 10,000 years.
Mm-hmm. It's giving Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ziggurat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. I will go in. Now, before I got here, was I able to make any kind of appointment? Am I just trying to charm my way into...
Were you calling ahead to try and make an appointment?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have tried to,
Okay.
like, yeah, just to at least give them a heads up that I'm coming, dropping the UN side of things to try to maybe
Okay.
expedite the appointment.
So when you get to the door, it is not glass. It looks like a solid piece of stone that recesses away like in two parts,
Yes.
right? So it's almost like stone wings that are folding into the sides of the entryway. And the entryway itself is 30 feet wide, right? Like you could have driven your spinner into this lobby, right? But it's these stone wings that silently just kind of fold away, and you enter into the lobby, and it's got like simulated sunlight that's shining in ways at these various geometrical stone pieces to create like a shadowscape.
Oh.
So like it's really the whole lobby's presentation is about the difference between light and darkness. Like the whole thing is the shot of Luke Skywalker with half his face in the light, like the whole lobby.
Oh.
But
I
it's
want the
these
floppy.
directed bits of light that are shining on these angular pieces of stone and just creating weird shadows all over the place. It's a little overwhelming,
Yeah.
but that's the point, right? But you don't get 2 steps into the building, and you are greeted by 3 people. And it looks like all of them are dressed differently. They're not all in uniform, but they're all dressed in very professional attire.
Okay.
And the first one introduces themselves and says, "Welcome. I'm happy to help you with anything you have to do with any UN regulations. This is Johan, our lead UN interface. And this is... I had just looked at the damn list. Can't keep the names in my head for 2 seconds. Grayson, who is our attorney is the wrong word, but who is our legal interface
Mm-hmm.
with the UN. And my name is, again, I did it.
THX.
It's a lot of names.
What? What did you say?
I just said it's a lot of names.
Lot of
Yours is funnier.
My name is Zoe. So what can we do for you?
I'm here to investigate the recent failing of a baseline test on one of Judge Amari Belsley.
Yes, of course. Please come with us. And
Thank
they
you.
turn and walk down a corridor. And they take you into a room that looks like a conference room, right? There's a large table in the center. In this case, there are 4 chairs around the conference table. And the Johann sits down and starts interfacing with a keyboard you can't see at the table, just doing things, making gestures. And you can see that Johann's eyes are darting back and forth like they're reading.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hits a certain combination of keys, and one wall becomes essentially like a personnel file about Noah,
Okay.
the law clerk. And Zoe says, so we do have a record of service on this model, but everything has been fine since the initial recalibration.
Are you able to tell what the issue was that caused the failing of the baseline?
It appears that the first imprint had a problem with timekeeping. He was chronically late. So that initiated a baseline test. And upon a failure was sent back to us. We recalibrated things, and he's been quite punctual since.
And that was the only issue, tardiness.
Yes, yeah. But it did fail the test.
Clearly. I mean, punctuality is next to godliness.
In this case, that's what the UN pays for.
And there were no other issues, nothing that was flagged when he was tested or recalibrated.
And Zoe kind of gestures at the wall, and things scroll up. Extremely high intelligence score, probably higher than they paid for, to be honest. And she kind of scrolls back and looks, and you see an invoice, and in this case, it's a large number.
Whew.
Like Noah would be not top of the line model, but definitely in the B tier.
Mm-hmm.
Arboretum money.
I mean, I don't know if it would be like buying a membership money. It would be more like
Keeping a membership money.
well, it would be more like if you could afford this, you could also have.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
bonsai garden money, not arboretum money.
Yeah. It's you might be invited to one of the parties there.
There you go.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not a visit anytime kind of membership. Yeah. And they probably ended up higher than they paid for, but you know, there's a little bit of art and science to this.
Mm-hmm.
But and then scrolling back down, not a particularly high empathy score, but not needed in a law clerk position.
No, why would anybody need empathy to enforce the law?
Well, they don't enforce the law; they just research things for the judge.
I was just talking in general.
Well, I mean, that seems like the judge's job, and they don't trust us to supply judges yet.
Yet.
Oof.
So no latent violent tendencies, nothing.
Violence? No.
That's nice to see. Who administered the test?
Well, the test was performed at the UN courthouse. We've installed testing rooms there per the contract.
Mm-hmm.
When the report came to us, we shut down the testing room and contained the subject until one of our teams could arrive.
And who handled the reprogramming?
And keeps scrolling, gets down and says, looks like Noah went into the engineering department, and they give you some text.
Wasn't O'Leary by any chance, was it?
I mean, so it's O'Leary's department.
Mm-hmm. But not
What?
O'Leary himself
No.
or themselves.
Herself.
Herself.
But no. Yeah, it's some tech. I'm not even going to really give you a name because
Oh, that's fine.
it doesn't appear. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't appear like the tech was doing something funky.
Okay.
Like it was. Tech got an assignment, looked at the stats, twisted a couple dials, sent them back. Everything seems fine.
Okay. Any chance that tech is here? I'd like to talk to them.
And kind of gestures to one of the others who does more stuff and brings up a new file on a person who looks like they are here.
Okay.
We can certainly have them brought up for you to interview if you need.
That would be great. Thank you. Yeah, I would like to just confirm some information, see if they notice anything they may not have made it to the report. Just covering all our bases to make sure that
Oh, I see.
everything is fine.
Well, I'm certain everything was.
Oh, I'm sure, but just, again, covering all the bases.
Very good, very good. Give us a moment, and we'll be right back with you. If you'd like any refreshments, and they gesture over at, it looks like there's a bit of the wall that is protruding
Mm-hmm.
into the room a little bit, and you're welcome to have whatever you'd like.
Great, thank you.
And the three of them stand, and the wall shuts down, and out of the room they go.
Okay.
You end up spending probably 20 minutes waiting. It seems like a long time, but it's a big ass building.
Oh, yeah.
Like even to make. At one point in my life, I had friends that worked in the Pentagon, and it's like you have to work in commute time. It's such a massive structure.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I'll be over to your office for lunch. It's like, okay, give yourself 15 minutes.
Disney Parks and Resorts employee. I feel you.
Sure.
Right, though?
Especially new people, because they're like, all these hallways are military and look exactly the same.
And I can't go through this hallway. I have to go two
Right.
floors down to go through this hallway.
Right. So I think while Gavin's waiting, he's resisting the urge to pace by sitting and just kind of opening and clenching his fists, like trying to
Sure.
get that nervous energy.
Are you gonna have any snacks or beverages?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're just kind of waiting for him to trying to make it look like he has everything under control when this person arrives, so pacing would not be
And
it.
the door kind of bursts open a little bit, and the tech arrives. A sheen of perspiration on, and they close the door and say, "Yes, I was told that you need my help with something."
Yes, absolutely. You seem parched. Would you like something to drink?
Oh, well, that would be delightful. And like they kind of walk around the table and go over to the thing and open it up, and it's like, it looks like a top-end hotel minibar. Right? There's everything you might want in there. And they kind of look around, and they kind of then slowly close the doors and sit back down without picking out anything.
Are you sure you don't want anything? I put it on my tab.
Oh,
They offered it to me.
and they stand back up and they kind of look around the room a little bit. Like they'd be looking for a camera, but you can't see it,
Right.
right? And then they kind of go over to the door and open it up and go and reach in and pull out just a little bottle of water.
Sure.
Oh my god.
And then open it up and
Mini
sit back down
Fiji
at the
bottle?
table. Yeah, but it's not that name
No.
brand. Like it's
3 Chin yen.
One for the bottle, two for the replacement cost.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you see things in there that are incredible,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there's actual bottles of, like the mini bottles of champagne that have like a glass in them. There's whatever kind of things you could think
Get
of.
that
in there.
mimosa.
Right?
Right though?
Yeah.
Um,
There's probably stuff like actual fruit juice
Oh,
in a bottle.
whoa.
stuff like that.
Was there anything as they were perusing that they like kind of hovered over and then went to the water, like as something higher end?
I mean, probably like you could, if eyeballs could rule,
Mm-hmm.
right, at the whole thing.
Is Gavin a doxy?
Anything.
A little bit.
They probably wanted to have an actual Coke. Like, it is still branded as Coca-Cola, and it just looked super good to them.
Okay.
You could tell that they were like, and then they're like, reached to the shelf below and took out the little bottle of water.
Coca-Cola
Yeah.
original recipe.
With
So
the cocaine.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
so
In
I
this
will,
universe?
right? I will go to the little mini bar and I will grab the Coke. And I will ice, I'm guessing, probably available, or is it just
Sure.
cold?
I mean, it's chilled.
Right.
It was in there. Yeah.
A glass.
Sure.
So
yeah,
pop it,
You open the next
pour it.
cabinet, and there's a variety of glasses for whatever beverage you're going to try and make.
And I'll set it down like kind of in between us.
Sure, sure. And like little tiny bubbles are popping, and there's like the little spits of
Oh,
Coke
yeah.
on the table.
That's the good stuff.
It looks like the commercial for a Coke,
Yes.
right? Like
You can
you-
hear
Yeah, you've poured it into the glass and you've set it on the table, and the camera pulls out to like a person with a bottle of water looking like.
I won't tell if you won't.
And like they kind of again looking around nervously, like set the bottle of water down slowly and reach out and grab the glass super gingerly, bring it back, and they're like giving it a big smell. And like you can see that like a little bit of the popping carbonation has like hit their face, and they're just like losing it. Take a little sip, and they're just like come alive, right? Like it is this weird mix of flavors, and they've always had this fantasy about having it, but now they have. And honestly, look a little weepy, like upset at how much they've enjoyed it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, now that we're refreshed, I was wondering if we could talk about the baseline test and the reprogramming of this replicant.
Oh, certainly. One second, and they
Sure.
set the soda down very gently, and they start to manipulate whatever interface is happening
Mm-hmm.
here in front of them. And then they bring the file back up, and they kind of spend a minute looking at it and making some adjustments, and then you see like other documents opening up that have very technical documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
That are popping up, and they're kind of looking at them and kind of tracing some lines, like stuff that looks like EKGs and all kinds of stuff. And then they're like hormone analysis and blood work and all kinds of scientific stuff. And then they kind of get to like the baseline test in question. And again, this test that they bring up, and they kind of refreshed. It looks like they're refreshing their memory.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like to this tech, to you, this replicant is very important. To this tech, this replicant is a Tuesday,
Right.
right? Like, and they kind of go, oh, well, it looks like it was miscalibration of time perception.
Mm-hmm.
They kept being late to work.
Right.
So we had to kind of flush the system and start again. But it was basically a re-upload. It might have been an error in the connection when we were uploading things the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But seems like it took. everything seems fine now.
Well, that's always good to hear. Anything that seemed slightly out of the ordinary, but not enough to necessarily report? We're looking at all of our options here to make sure clear this person of any wrongdoing.
Why don't you roll an empathy manipulation
I absolutely will.
with an advantage?
Hey.
For buttering them up with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Sip of Coca-Cola.
All right.
And I completely agree, James. Like, this poor tech is ruined inside forever.
Ruining lives one day at a time.
Proud of you.
Gavin the Pusher.
The Coca-Cola
I rolled a
butter.
10, so I think it's two
That's
successes.
two successes?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, and you got the advantage part, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they kind of do some more gestures at the table, and then they're reading something that they can see and you can't. Well, it wasn't so much an error, but it seemed like there had been like a memory leak kind of a situation. Probably because of the time misalignment. It looks like they were missing some time.
And this was before the realignment.
Yes.
Do you know approximately how much time was missing?
It would be, 10, 15 minutes here or there. Nothing major. It seems like they almost disassociated time and then kind of sprung back into their routine and got to work. So they were consistently late all over.
And this missing time or this missing memory was considered less of a problem than the time lapse, or the time lapse was the main cause, and this was just a strange side effect.
I mean, it might have been any number of reasons before the reset. It seems like, it's not missing time like those old UFO stories about people that disappeared and came back and it was hours later. It wasn't like that. It looked like there was some kind of an error and they didn't perceive the time progressing for a couple of minutes here or there. And then that led to them being late, right? Imagine you wake up in the morning, you get a cup of coffee and you sit down to drink it and you forget to drink it for a few minutes. Or you make the coffee and then you do some other things and you come back, your coffee's already cold. It was that kind of a thing. The unconscious things that all of us do in the process of our day, it seems like those ended up taking too much time. Like they were just either distracted or something, and they didn't register that time passing like they should. Replicants, they're usually pretty good with time management.
Is there any record of what time was missing?
Like I say, it would just be a few minutes here or there.
So nothing to timestamp to.
No, and
Okay.
I didn't dive into it, research. It wasn't. We've had situations with models in the past that, they would end up losing like a day, and that's a problem.
Sure.
So then we do some research into what happened. But in this case, it's like if you had a clock that ran a minute every hour slow. Right? So by the end of a day, suddenly you're 12 minutes late or 16 minutes late. That kind of a thing.
I see. This is all incredibly interesting. I didn't know this is something that could happen for replicants.
Well, sure. I mean, it could happen to people, too. There's people that are just really bad about getting places.
Oh, I know. I work with some.
Some replicants or people?
Yes.
Well, I mean, you should report that. Like, time management is a problem. We can correct. It's pretty easy. Look at this. No problem since the initial...
I might just have to add that to a report I'm writing.
Oh.
but that's incredibly interesting. I would actually love to hear more about this. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time right now. Would we be able to meet up at another time?
Well, at first they were about to automatically be like, "No, I'm very busy," but then they like looked at the Coke and they're like, "Anytime you have any questions, I'm happy to help."
Great. I mean, it doesn't even have to be here. I mean, Coke is fine, but I really prefer the vanilla Coke. Have you had vanilla Coke?
What?
Coke with vanilla. It's a flavor.
What's vanilla?
Oh.
Oh, this poor bastard.
So, why don't you give me your number, and we will go and discuss this more, and we can sample many different flavors of Coke.
Wait, are you talking like Coke and Diet Coke?
No. No one drinks Diet Coke anymore.
Oh. Of course not. Oh, yeah. Who would drink a diet soda? Ridiculous. And they're like pulling the glass closer to them again. Like, our time is almost up. I have to finish this. Sure. And they do some kind of a gesture with their right hand while they're like chugging down this soda. And you get like near field communication style pop up with their contact.
Perfect.
We
We can name them later. I don't need a name right now.
Sure. They were literally just tech.
You've been airdropped.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Well,
Sure. Yeah. If you have any questions, that's fine. I mean, and they kind of do some stuff with the computer, and the wall turns off, and then the table actually, like the underlighting of the table turns off, and they go, "If you need help with a replicant model, I'm happy to, consult or anything. Like I said, if you were having problems with any of the models that are working for you, I could come see what's going on. At least give you some direction of,
yeah, I think that might be actually very helpful.
Sure.
But
Just
I
let
want
me
to,
know.
yeah, I'll check in with them and make sure that it's not just a personality issue.
Well, I mean,
Not
If-
software personality, just you'll understand.
isn't it all software?
I mean, yes,
Okay.
but don't tell them that.
Like, sure.
But this is great, and yes, we will definitely be in touch.
Can you dispose of that bottle?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. And they've finished the
Yeah.
Coke and like set the glass down, and then they go to get up and they're like, "Oh, like something has gone horribly awry." Right?
Yeah. Pace yourself.
Like,
No.
and like they're I don't even think they know like what kind of sugar rush you can get if you've never had a soda before. Like, so they're clearly like, "Oh, well, have a great day," and like they stumble a little bit getting up and get to the door and exit the room.
Perfect.
Unless you're going to stop them or say anything
No,
else.
no,
Okay.
they can leave, and I will very, very happily save their information into my KIA. And now I have a contact in engineering at Wallace, which is just what I wanted.
You ruined their life.
Who cares? That's
Um,
fine. They get Coke out of it.
I mean, I don't know if you've even seen Coke in a Coke bottle. in like the nice clubs,
Mm.
right? Like this is imported from Atlanta
Ah.
kind of Coke. Like it's not locally bottled syrup and carbonated
It's a
water.
single batch cola.
Yes, yeah. Like, yeah. And you can tell, like, it's in an actual glass bottle. It's not in the plastic kind of.
Mm.
By
of
Atlanta, he
Ponios.
means Colombia.
Yes.
But yeah. And then a couple of minutes later, like a set of, it looks like escorts arrive at the door and ask, like, you have any other business?
Nope. I'm all done here. Thank you.
Oh, very good, very good. If you'd like to follow us.
Mm-hmm.
And they take you out and
And what the heck? I'll pocket the bottle as a souvenir.
okay. Why don't you do agility stealth?
Yikes. Okay.
Come on, Gavin.
Agility is D10. Stealth is a D8.
Okay.
That's
So it's not
bad.
bad,
You're
but
doing good. I
you
believe
think.
in you. I believe in you. Your dice, maybe not, but I do.
I'm gonna push.
Oh no!
We should steal some
Poor
trash.
Coke.
I need garbage.
Yeah.
You were both garbage men today.
Yeah.
This is why I felt not used to handling garbage.
I don't know. We are on the same team.
There we go. That is a 9.
Cool. You slip it right into your coat pocket. You can even take with a success, you can take the untouched bottle of water,
Oh yeah.
and put that in your pocket to
Yeah.
go. Sure. And as you're walking out, the lead escort kind of looks at you and goes, do you need to avail yourself of any other amenities before you go?
Oh no, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, very good, very good. And they escort you out to the door, and it opens up, and you can go back out. And they have your spinner has been moved to right in front of the door. And there is one of the valets from the parking lot is standing there and has opened the door for you.
Okay. And once I get in the spinner, I'll send a message on the KIA to the team, letting them know. Followed up with Wallace about Noah. Everything's on the up and up. Nothing really to report there. Seems clean. And then I will be on my way.
You're off. Let's get back to meeting with the protesters.
We're union busting. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
I don't know what you're gonna do. That's
We're
your
just
choice
gonna
once you get
talk
out
to
there.
a guy. Kestrel's good at talking to people.
Yeah. Listen, Haru is personable, even if they're barely a person. It's fine.
You don't have to be a person to be personable.
I
Yeah.
mean, your teammate is getting you lined up to be recalibrated.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know
Fine.
what? Haru deserves that as a treat.
Oh gosh.
You can try and have Kestrel recalibrated. Good luck.
I haven't had trouble with you. You're great.
I'm the problem. It's me. Hello. Yeah. Haru files away the entry code.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How often they change that, I wonder.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And is going to walk out like this is just another street in Los Angeles.
Cool.
Unbothered.
I mean, there's not much street.
No.
Yeah.
There is a little pathway that goes through the gate. But once you get to the other side, it is just a wasteland of refuse.
On our way out there, can I look up the ringleader's name on my KIA? Just do a quick Google search to see if I can get a picture of him.
You absolutely can. Let's go with intelligence tech
Okay.
as a roll, just to see how much information you can get
Sure.
quickly.
Intelligence tech. Not my best forte, but we're gonna do it.
I believe in you. I would say I'm helping you, but Haru is not.
That is fair. That is a 1. I'm gonna push because I don't want that. That's fine.
All right.
I delight in watching you guys push rolls. Especially because it seems like every time there's a roll that's like, I don't know if that's really that important, but by God, I'm going to succeed.
Yeah.
Okay, the dice said 1 2
Yeah.
times in a row.
Yeah. They're like,
Oh.
So you actually discover that you're having a hard time with a connection.
oh yeah.
Ah,
that makes sense.
okay. Yeah.
So
That's fair.
it plants a little bit of a seed of doubt because if shit goes bad,
Oh yeah.
you're not under the umbrella of the LAPD out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're far enough away that backup probably wouldn't show up for hours because they'd wait to find out that you don't report for the next shift
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of thing. So there's a little bit of that in your mind. I know I'm not saying you're not a brave person, but
No. It's just,
and everybody knows the Kipple's a fucking roughhouse of a place.
yeah. Okay. So I guess when we get out here, I'll look for anybody that seems like they are in charge, like just kind of body language wise.
Sure. And you can see that most of the protesters out here have pulled up, it looks like homemade lawn chairs,
Hmm.
right? So they have like patched together scraps of metal and fibrous material, like rope tied to a piece of cable, tied to old phone charger cable, and like knitted around the little frame. So a bunch of them are just kind of sitting there, and they're sort of drinking like what kind of looks like beer,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a cooler, and
Love these people.
they're just kind of sitting there, and they drink, and then somebody shouts some angry slogan, and they all go, "Yeah, fuck that guy!" Rah! You know, the stereotypical South Park, they took our jobs. That kind of noise is coming out, but you do spot sitting in a full. You remember those old lounge chairs that like are the 3-part fold up?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I was
Mhm.
picturing it in my head already.
So it's
With
one
the,
of
like,
those.
plastic things that go across.
Yeah, the plastic like
Horrible
noodle
plastic
bands
noodle
that
bands.
leave those horrible
Oh,
web of
I can feel
Yep.
it.
imprints on your
Get your
back.
toes stuck in them weird
Everything.
ways.
Yeah.
Everything stuck in them.
But sitting there on one with the back kind of upright, not totally reclined like, you know, some kind of hedonistic lounging sofa, but the back is sitting upright and the front is tilted down. You see an incredibly attractive young man. And the rest of them are all kind of spread around this person.
Haru is badly joining their cheering.
Okay.
You
So,
know, when
like,
you're in a choir and
"Yeah!"
you say watermelon, they're doing that.
Sure.
Okay. She's not subtle, like a tank. I'm gonna make a beeline for that dude.
Sure.
I think Haru is trying to be like, has anyone seen? Oh,
And, like, you kind of get a few steps closer to everybody, and like you see that the crowd in like a wave as you've gotten closer is all like, "What the fuck? What the?" And like a couple of them are kind of trying to stand up real fast, like.
She's like, "You're fine. Sit."
And you see like the first guy is like, "Yeah,
Sit.
okay,
do what
we're
she
cool
says.
here. It's all right to be here.
You're
We're
fine."
suing that motherfucker." And then like, there's both of you can do an intelligence observation.
Okay.
Big brain times.
Not you. You did a bad job last time. Nope.
One success.
Okay. You see that one of the guys in the back has clearly made a move like they are going for something.
Mm-hmm.
Not quickly, but in the like, let me be ready. If shit's about to pop off with like this crazy militaristic person walking up on us, I'm gonna be the one that might get a shot off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that's on the lounger stands up, and has that full, like when the star of a movie is supposed to be working like a dirty job, right? Like it's that kind of look. Like there's strategic little bits of grease, kind of in a couple of places, but like clean shaven, tremendous jawline.
Down on his luck, 90s Brad Pitt is here.
Yes.
Got it.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Okay.
I'm just gonna live there for a couple minutes.
and he's kind of like, okay, everybody, we're cool. And he like gestures at the both of you, like, we're cool.
Haru's hands are up.
Great. And he's clearly making no threatening gestures. What can we do for you?
We just have some questions. And Haru's going to very slowly pull their badge out from underneath their coat.
And he's like, questions. Oh, okay.
You guys aren't in any trouble. We just have questions. Are you, what's his name?
Leo.
Leo?
Yeah, that's me.
Alexander? Good, you're who we want to talk to.
Well, happy to talk,
We're-
especially if you're here about doing something about that asshole.
That's another matter. The big question we have is, are you aware that your court case has been delayed a little?
What you talking about?
Do you have a lawyer representing you in the court case?
Yeah,
Name, please.
my fucking cousin.
Your
Is
cousin.
that a name?
No.
It's a weird name.
We shouldn't be allowed to be partners.
Just the immediate roll into that's a weird name. All right.
Come on, Steve.
My cousin, his name's, I gotta look at the list again. I had it in my head, and then you killed
my
me. Mason.
Mason, same last name.
Alexander.
Alexander.
Okay, you're gonna want to probably talk to Mason about your case.
As you've gotten a little closer, you can tell that pretty much everybody out here is pretty drunk,
Cool. Love this.
Great.
including Leo. Like Leo is, now that he stood up, he's a little bit wavy. Yeah, if this was a DUI stop, you would absolutely be taking him in. Like,
Like, okay, y'all.
yeah. But okay.
So, how are you feeling about the case? You don't know?
Mason says that we got a shot if the judge thinks that we deserve our jobs back, but I don't know if it's going to work out. Right? I mean, yeah, of course it's cheaper to get replicants to come in and do work that we used to get paid for, but
And how do you feel about the replicant workers?
I mean, it's not their fault that they're doing our jobs,
Mm-hmm.
right? They didn't, it's not like they came down here and said, hey, we're going to undercut you fuckers. You know, you can't even really call them a scab, right? They're just brought in to do something.
Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, we're all pretty pissed off, but
But you're pissed off at the name, not the replicants.
yeah,
How good do you feel your chances are with the judge?
I don't know. Judge is a human, at least. Maybe there's some compassion there. I don't. My cousin says there's no real law that stops somebody from hiring replicants instead of us, but
I mean, there's not.
you know, maybe all laws got to start somewhere, right?
So you're your case is built on hope.
You know, there's my cousin says there's this old saying: the law's not on your side. Push against the facts.
Mm-hmm.
If the facts aren't on your side, push against hope. Kind of where we are.
So you worked at the scrapyard.
Yeah,
How long?
I've been here since I was a kid.
It's a good job out here.
I mean, it's better than trying to eat people.
Mm-hmm.
Very. You live out here?
My whole life.
All you?
Well, no. A couple of these guys came down from the city.
And if you had access to the city, would you go?
I mean, if there's something to do.
I mean, there's always something to do. It's a big city.
When was the last time you visited the city?
I've never been.
Do you wanna?
You got like a job or something you need me to do?
Got a bus.
It's not gonna make my life any better if I go to the city on a bus and still don't have anything to fucking do.
Listen, you can sit out here. This looks like a nice view. Or you can go to the city and at least look at something nicer.
Probably a few more options for jobs in there.
Why don't you guys do empathy manipulation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you can
Uh,
decide who's gonna do the role and who could assist. 'Cause
I think I'll probably help.
Cool.
'Cause I got a C and a D.
Well, yeah, you definitely want me to roll this.
Yeah.
Fine, just have him take over the Aurelian shop.
Yeah.
It's just sitting empty.
Somebody's gotta sell butterflies.
All I'm doing is the worst choices. Let's go. What is your, it's empathy, right, that we would be
Mhm.
adding?
I have a D8 in empathy.
Great. Oh. Oh my god.
Wow. Oh, what? Ooh.
These are such bad rolls tonight.
Oh, I was like, wait, the reaction, I can't tell if it was good or bad.
No.
I need everyone to know. I rolled a D12, a D8, and a D6. No successes and a 1. And I cannot push.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you can.
How many? What?
If it's worth it to you, you can push.
The thing is, Haru does not have any horse in this race.
No.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
So. Let it go.
Yeah, I think it's gotta go. I think we gotta just
Okay.
let it go.
Okay. So
It's rough.
you can tell that you started to get Leo on board, right? Like Leo was like, well, fuck it. I guess I could sit around in the city and get drunk too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the other guys there is like, fuck that noise. They're just working for that fucker inside. They're trying to get us to leave. He's about to break. Let's stay out here. Like, this other guy stands up and is just getting rowdy, right? Like, fuck you. Like, starts kind of coming at you, but like not physically trying to fight you, but clearly like, get the fuck out of here. We'll tell the cannibals where to find you next. Get the fuck out. And like the rest of the group is like, yeah, fuck that. And like there's a couple of cans that come sailing your way that don't make connection, but like are landing around you, and like some not great smelling beer is
Sure,
fizzing out of the
yeah.
cans at you. Yeah.
Slightly aged Corona coming out of a can.
Yeah. Left out in the sun
Yeah.
for a while in the clear bottle.
Yeah. Haru starts backing up, like hands up, just like, nope, gotta go.
think Kestrel just looks at the dude that's trying to start trouble and then looks at Leo and goes, you can stay or you can go. We don't really give a shit. He answered our questions.
Well, all right.
We do have the gate code.
Maximum chaos.
Holy shit.
You better run.
All right. And like you can see Leo's immediately like, yeah, well, what do you want for it?
You pack them and leave. Just for today, I'll give it to you.
And he kind of looks around and he's like, fuck it. We'll move on down the way.
If you hang out here, there'll be a bus that'll take you to the city.
I ain't getting on any fucking bus, but we can stop yelling shit
So
today.
people get on the bus and make the story better.
Story or not. I ain't got anywhere to be.
You put some of your guys on the bus, I give you the code. I leave. Your guys come back another day, and you use the gate code.
You use this code. None of those replicant workers in there better get hurt or I'm coming back.
Well, what the fuck are we trying to do with the code then? We can't stop the work happening.
You could stop work happening without hurting people.
You know who's at fault?
All right. Yeah, we'll go for the day. And he kind of looks at one of the other guys and he goes, how much is that bus ride?
You're not paying for the bus ride, don't worry.
You fucking serious?
Yeah.
All right. I've never seen the city. I'll go look for free.
And Haru just like literally on some trash scribbles the gate code and gives it to Leo.
And he kind of tucks it in his overall pocket. That like he's clearly stitched
Yeah,
Leo himself
I love him.
badly. And he tucks it in his pocket and he's like, all right, well, come on, boys, let's go. And they kind of all stand up and nobody moves to pick up their chair.
They're coming back tomorrow.
But like one guy grabs the cooler and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like awkwardly shuffling off this pile of trash. And they head towards where you told them to go for the bus.
You taking some of those electronics?
Yeah. Aren't you?
Probably sell them for a few chinyan.
That's the goal.
So you guys head back inside,
Yep.
and you're like, "Look, they left. We
Yeah,
got
they're
'em to go."
gone.
And he's like, "Well, fuck me, all right." And he pulls out the bin of shit, and he's like, "Take whatever you want."
You owe them some bus fare. And then just grab some stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, take a handful. Whatever looks the most expensive.
Cool.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, maximum chaos. We're just setting up
It's
so much
fine.
violence.
Don't worry about it.
It's just fine. It's fine.
Definitely not one of our prime suspects, possibly in that crowd of people.
Don't worry about it.
No, that's fine. It's all good.
Look, if they do more crimes, we can just arrest them.
Flawless
That's how policing works.
Yes.
logic.
There is a scary logic to that, and I hate it.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to get done down here while you're here?
I think we've done enough
Any
damage.
more violence you want to incite?
Want to go find those
I think-
cannibals? Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Invite
like
them
a
to-
trail of feet for them to follow.
Follow in these footsteps.
Oh my god.
I think on the spinner ride back, Kestrel is like, you know what?
Hmm.
You're more fun than I thought.
Mhm.
We should hang out more.
Sounds nice.
I bet you'd like my roommate.
You have a roommate?
Yeah. His name's Brick.
Cool name.
Hmm. does not tell you he's a dog.
No. I was like, cool, I'm gonna be someone named Brick.
All right. I think that's a great place to wrap it up for the night. Essentially ensuring the death of a business owner in the Kestrel. That's fine.
We hated that guy. Don't cross us again.
Uh-huh.
All my future NPCs better watch the fuck out.
Taffy tried.
Right? Oh no, I'm still coming for Taffy.
What did he do to
This guy was
what did
more
he do?
direct.
I
No.
100% on Discord told everybody that all future games I run is gonna have Taffy
I love him.
as my John Ratzenberger, like,
Yes.
Taffy
Yeah.
lives.
because he's so good.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you out there in internet land for joining us for this evening's adventure. We will be back next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
around. Nobody's traveling for the
No.
week. Great.
Mm-mm.
So we'll be back next week, Monday. Tuesday.
Yep.
God.
Close. Days of the week.
Yeah, whatever. Time is meaningless.
Yeah, it's true.
We exist in a void.
Are you sure to have a time slip?
Yeah.
If I've been losing a couple
Deeply
of minutes a day,
concerned.
but we will be back next week, Tuesday, for episode 9. If you jumped in here in the middle and you're not sure what the hell's going on, or who these people are and why they're trying to get business owners killed and poor techs addicted to caffeine, who knows? You can catch up on old episodes of our show at happyjacks.org/burningbright. You can find us available on Twitch and YouTube. I'm sorry,
You
buddy.
startled the dog.
Oh, I dropped a die and then I caused a riot. But yeah, the chaos has rubbed off on me.
Yeah, it started.
It starts small and just continues to reverberate. Thank you very much, James, in the chat for keeping chat a safe place to be. It is a delight to be able to watch chat happening. I know I don't interact super a lot because my GM brain goes completely haywire if I start responding to things there too much, which is why I don't have a keyboard. I'm not able to type responses. But it's awesome. Thank you for doing that. Thank you to the Patreon members that put in some money every month to enable us to have a great space to hang out and play fun games and have some beverages, and it's awesome. We greatly appreciate your support. You can find out how to join them at happyjacks.org/Patreon. That will enable you to join up and get cool stuff. Like when we wrap up this game, we're going to do a debrief episode, kind of talk about what you liked about the game system, what you weren't so sure about, what you wanted to see your character end up doing that ended up not happening, or the surprises of finding out everybody's replicants. All those
We
kind of
are?
things. Yeah. Clearly.
Looks like Joey lost some time again.
Uh-oh.
Nobody-
Ryan said that we gotta send it back.
Mhm.
Recalibrate.
Yep. Send it in. Baseline test for all.
You're gonna get me baseline, and you know what? Good for you.
Thank you for joining us. I have been CADave. You can find me everywhere at CA Sith Lord on the internet. Mainly, I tend to favor Blue Sky now for things over the old platform that has no new name. But
Not a name.
it's just useless. But you will also find me on Twitch myself at CA Sith Lord, where I have been streaming on Monday nights about an hour and a half of Dave the Diver. Watch me collect fish and make sushi with the best sushi chef I've ever seen, who has cutscenes that have a little button to let you skip them. But if you ever touch that cutscene, you're dead to me.
Oh.
Because the cutscenes for this sushi chef are so good, including one where he's getting ready to prep some sushi, and then it zooms out to a fish in a tank behind him that looks terrified.
Amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. Coming this Thursday also is the Back to the Future expansion for Power Wash Simulator.
Oh.
I may be doing a special stream for that because why not? It was also pointed out to me an interesting fact that time traveling back the 30 years from now lands you in 1993.
Yep.
time traveling in the original movie, he lands in 1955 to be greeted by Mr. Sandman as the song that
Yeah.
really emphasized the era.
Oh God.
Traveling back to 1993, you could listen to Enter Sandman,
Oh my God.
Oh.
I love that.
and it would be about the same amount of time since their
That's
release.
upsetting.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a cool theme, so
Yeah.
we'll see. So possibly on Thursday I'll be on to do that. I will announce more as my schedule firms up, and we'll see. Let's go around the table.
Hey everybody, I am Joey. You can find me on all the social media platforms as Feywild, Feywilde, or Feywild85. Not currently doing anything else performance-wise except for caroling season, which means I go into my little caroler hole and don't see the light of day again until January. So I am here caroling until January. So pray for me.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
8-hour shift yesterday. 8 hours. I'm fine. We're all
Jingle
fine.
hells.
Sing for Krampus. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't tempt me, Frodo.
AKA Frodo, AKA Cousteau Magee.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna roll
You were
with
here
it.
the whole time.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you just killed me. It's like I'm now envisioning Krampus with the half mask on, looking at Joey. Sing! Sing
To me, jingle bells.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I totally derailed your discussion of who you are.
Incredible.
All right.
We're on one tonight.
Yes, I'm Cousteau. I played Fjor, and you can find me on social media at Cousteau Magee on Instagram, on the former Twitter, and yeah, I write about game design. I write about some D&D classes. I'm working with Pathfinder as well. I like all games, so I'm just writing to increase representation. So yeah, tune in.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. I've been your nightmare replicant Haru. You can find me on all social media platforms as Estelle of Imladris. You can find me on Saturday for the finale of Arc 1 of Transplanar RPG, an all-transgender, people of color-led dark fantasy actual play series set in a non-colonial, anti-Orientalist multiverse. I looked at the words today instead of the last few
I was going to
times.
say that was very smooth.
lot.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
it was
I
super-
try. We are hitting the Arc 1 finale where we are going to be leaving the Wild Sea as a dimension. And so we'll be also saying goodbye to the Wild Sea as a system. Highly recommend the Wild Sea. It's been a good time. And then we will be having a very emotional finale on Saturday that we are pre-recording for the first time this week. And then I think that's the main thing I have going on. And then there's just a lot of other things in the works. So stay tuned. Watch this space. Yeah.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam, also known as Kestrel, your friendly neighborhood dog trainer. You can find me on the internets at Red Pandroid, mostly on Instagram, just posting photos of myself as a skeleton and or the dog dressed as a skeleton. So if you like skeletons, you should follow me. Goodbye.
That's the most Sam outro. If you like skeletons, you should follow me.
If you
Put
like
that on
or
my
have a
tombstone.
skeleton.
Oh no. We're just killing it tonight.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Killing
Listen,
something.
if you can't amuse yourself, why bother? Right? So thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next week. Have a great night.